coming to you from the New World. This is the Mushi Weekly. I am your host, Sammy, and to pay tribute to Divvens' nicknames, they stay. Joining me today is the Tactical Mastermind.
Hey, I'm Takt.
And the James Cameron from Down Under.
Hello, I'm Recoilation.
And the Panda X-Koala Express himself.
Hello, I'm Divvens.
And this is the 9th episode of your official OJ podcast, where we discuss and review the latest One Piece chapter. Okay, so to briefly summarize the previous chapter, which is chapter 736, it basically showcased the general outline of some of the Don Quixote family members, confirming Diamante's Devil Fruit, showcasing Lao Ji's fighting style, which is very amusing and extremely unique, and hinting towards Pika's Devil Fruit, which we now know, by the way. Along with all the combat, Luffy and Zoro had their fair share of combat on the previous chapter after Luffy deciding to go classic and attacking the Don Quixote family palace head-on, which led to Don Quixote Doflamingo to realize his flaws in his predictions. And then Doflamingo raged over what was happening with confusion towards who Lucy's replacement could be in the Colosseum, and he also showcased a lot of anger towards the whole situation. We ended off the chapter with Pika intercepting Luffy, Zoro, and Viola with his Devil Fruit enabled and going full throttle. For this chapter, chapter 737, titled The Executive Tower, I'm going to describe it briefly, and to be honest, what I can say about this chapter is this is it. This is the chapter. This chapter really summarizes what the New World is all about. Gigantic subordinates, both literally and figuratively, intercepting Luffy and Zoro and successfully stopping them, even for a few seconds. Even if Luffy doesn't move for a few seconds, that's enough. And pirates, kings, and revolutionaries being turned into toys by what seems to be a little girl. And most importantly, elbow surges that create holes in dimensions and dragon claws that cut dimensions in half. I know that's exaggeration, obviously, but that really tells you just how grand the fighting in this chapter was, and not really just fighting because it was, introduction to the fighting. It was just simply the attacks being used for the first time. But even still, Burgess's casual elbows shows us an impact that is reminiscent of the King Punch, and it was simply casual. He did them twice consecutively, and only to be completely and utterly stopped by black dragon claws. We say this a lot, but it's only getting better from here. And as far as the cover page for this chapter 737, we are still going through the traditional each chapter being having a request of a straw hat with a theme requested by a fan. And for this one, we see Zoro and an elder mob monkey boss having a drinking contest with a lot of monkeys behind the monkey boss and Zoro. This is my favorite out of all of them so far, just because of the facial expression on Zoro's face. But what did you guys think about it?
I liked it. I thought the main boss monkey next to Zoro looked like Brownbeard a bit. I don't know if that was intended, but it sort of did.
Dude had a scar.
Yeah, he had a scar, and it actually looked like Zoro is like drinking, and he's getting affected by the drinks as well. We know he can handle a lot of drinking, but he has that what's that called? The kind of blush below his.
Yeah.
And it feels like he's intoxicated. So he must have drank a lot, and that monkey is giving him a run for his money.
Indeed. It was really amusing to look at all the monkeys, to be honest, in the cover page.
They all have such nice expressions, especially the one that's right beside Zoro.
Like,
it looks like one of them's prompting him to maybe spew it up or something in the top right.
Like one
it's just his normal face.
One monkey was wearing a tuxedo, the other monkey was wearing a jacket.
Yeah.
It was cool. Oda going crazy with his just whatever it is that he draws.
Just to add to that, I like how both Zoro and the boss monkey have almost the same expression.
Yeah.
It's like mirror images.
Okay, so we usually don't discuss these cover pages too much, but I have to ask this. Everyone has the cover page in front of them, hopefully. Which monkey is your favorite, excluding the boss monkey?
I'd have to go with the one to the left of Zoro's shoulder. I'd have to.
You stole my choice. In which case, I'll take the gorilla.
Really? What do I do now?
Yeah, they've taken all the good ones. But the one left of Zoro's shoulder, he looks really familiar to one of the monkey brothers who helped Straw Hats get to Sky Island. Mushi, right?
That's actually true.
If you put that monkey side by side with Laoji and how Laoji was, you know how Laoji's mouth is shaped? I think it's almost the same.
That's actually true.
Just needs no eyes, black eyes.
But yeah, I'll just go for Tuxedo Monkey because he's a classic and he has class and Tuxedo looks good on him. Good for the monkey. And now to summarize chapter 737 briefly. At Doflamingo's palace, Luffy's group stood before Pika. Viola explained that Pika ate the Ishi no Mi, which by the way it allows him to assimilate stone. Pika reached into the surrounding walls, taking control of them and smashing them together in an attempt to crush the group. That is, Luffy, Zoro, and Viola. In the Colosseum, Jesus Burgess earned the ire of the audience when he indiscriminately attacked the crowd while fighting the boss, Fighting Fish. The Fighting Fish, with the prize, tried to attack Rebecca, but missed, and Lucy managed to get on top of the beast. Diamante moved to attack Lucy, but broke his sword against the latter's pipe in the process. Jesus tried his turn to attack, but Lucy intercepted and destroyed his elbow guard, with Diamante noticing the change in Lucy's fighting style. Usopp's group managed to enter the office tower and bore witness to Cavendish being turned into a toy, instantly might I say, and the subsequent loss of the pirate's free will and existence was clearly shown. Liu the dwarf told Usopp that their strategy was to mix the world's most spicy seasoning, disguised as a grape, into Sugar's bowl of grapes, so that upon eating it, she would lose consciousness and her spell would be broken on all the toys in the kingdom. Seeing no other alternative, Usopp agreed to the plan that could potentially free the kingdom from Doflamingo's rule, or at least help, severely, extremely help. And now, on to the initial thoughts of this chapter. We're going to start off with Recoilation. Go ahead, bro.
Thank you, man. My initial thoughts of this chapter. Now, we start off with we got the Pika explanation straight away. So all of last week's discussion was put to a halt, and he is an assimilation stone rock man. Like he's not it actually stated by Zoro that he's not just a rock man. He actually assimilates all stone, which helps especially considering the castle is basically made of completely that. So he is the castle defender. So that worked out really well. It was we all hinted at that being a possibility in some way, but not that exact sort of wording of it. So of course Oda surprises us a little bit. I also, well, of course the fight between Sabo and Burgess was just beautiful. I just had to say that the Dragon Claw was amazing. I love anything involving dragons, because it's always meant to be more epic when it involves a dragon, unless it's Momonosuke. And he didn't destroy both Diamante and Burgess, but he's obviously got the upper hand so far, and it's just awesome to see Sabo, in the flesh, just doing what he does best, apparently, which is fighting pretty top tier sort of fighters in the One Piece world. I just thought it gave up the same feelings that the 729 to 731 chapter sequence did, just with the epic panel moments. It was even better than the Chinjao Luffy by far. That was why I loved it. It was just the best clash so far this arc. That was really good. For the Sugar and Treble part of the chapter, I like Sugar a lot. She was really funny. She only said a little bit, but she's just she just doesn't care. She just eats grapes and turns people to toys instantly. And that fruit explanation it just seems so overpowered if anyone who was capable of fighting at all had it. Sort of. If you're in the middle of a fist fight and you just turn someone into a monkey, banging cymbals together. It's how would you ever lose? So, but otherwise, she's just a little girl and we get to see how the process goes exactly. We got to see that Tribble was a sticky user. I wasn't too excited by that. Would have rather Snail or Slug Zone or even a Logia, but I guess that's too extravagant. And he's pretty generic, like Diamante, but both of them have their ups and downs. They're both good. I like both of them. And we also got to see, of course, Cavendish, who did get turned into a toy a couple of podcasts back. We thought that he wouldn't. So it was pretty surprising to me, actually, to see that. And finally, we get to see that the plan is in action and about to finish in the chapter. In the underground. We have the Tabasco, I think it is, with the spiciest seasoning that nearly knocked out like a lot of dwarves. Was going to be used on Sugar to knock herself out, but obviously it probably is not going to go according to plan, as we've all figured. And man, is Usopp being very cowardly compared to what he's usually like in this arc even. So he might have a big moment coming up. I'm feeling that. It's not going to go to plan, but hopefully people will turn back to normal soon enough, because that'll be an epic moment for Dressrosa. And those are my initial thoughts. And next to give his initial thoughts on the chapter is Divvens.
Thank you, Recoil. I'm so used to calling him Cam that it's just become like Sammy and Krasse. I'd never call Sammy Krasse again. So anyways, moving on to my initial thoughts. When I came to know that Pika is like the whole freaking palace, he is the palace itself because of his ability. He can assimilate stone and become one with stone, to say so. And then he just gets like both the walls together and smashes them. Luffy is going to be fine. I wonder, Zoro is going to be fine as well, but Viola is there. What's she going to do? I mean, she isn't, as far as we know, she isn't like superhuman. Like, I think Zoro, even if he takes the damage of the impact of the wall, he's going to just walk it off like nothing ever happened. But Viola is the one there that worries me a bit, because if she gets hurt, then there's the whole thing of needing to protect her as well while fighting against Pika, and that kind of dynamics enters the plot line. Regarding the Colosseum, I think every fan can just say it was epic, and just words better than epic that I don't currently, like, I can't describe this part in words except that Jesus Bugs, Sabo, and yeah, I mean, there was also Rebecca, there was also Diamante, there was also Bartolomeo, but I don't think that anybody could care about anything other than Jesus Bugs and Sabo in the Colosseum, because Jesus Bugs is one of the 10 captains now under Blackbeard, so it's like Blackbeard has 10 commanders, 10 fleets, and he's one of them, and a single attack, which I think wasn't even his strongest attack, it was just like Luffy's Gomu Gomu no pistol, and that like rocked the whole Colosseum. I mean, it actually made the whole thing shake, and it hurt the crowd as well, and then Sabo stopped it, another attack, and totally dismantled and broke the armor which Burgess had, and then you should have seen the expression on Burgess' face. That smug smile was gone. He was like, oh shit, son, it's serious now. And Diamante was like, is this really Straw Hat Luffy? The fighting style is so different, and things like that. I mean, I don't know when Diamante is going to totally realize that it isn't Luffy, and if there's going to be any disqualification so far in. I don't know if there is any disqualification at all in this type of battle. So, because nobody knows the true identity of Lucy except Diamante, Bellamy, Jesus Bugs, Bartolomeo. Even Rebecca doesn't know the true identity of, or does she? I'm not sure. I don't think she knows that he's Monkey D. Luffy. So, and the crowd doesn't know that it's Monkey D. Luffy. So how will they prove it? People may just think that, oh, this guy is strong, so Diamante is disqualifying him, and they may just start booing Diamante and stuff. So, it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen. And then we move on to the tower, the executive tower, the office tower. There's multiple names for that. And then we see Sugar. And the speed at which she turns Cavendish into a toy, it was like instant touch and go. There wasn't even a second's delay. I'm sure the anime is going to make it all dramatic and show each little body part becoming a toy part, like the hands becoming smaller and smaller and becoming a wooden thing and stuff like that. But I think this makes a lot more impact. It's like Kuma's ability. He just uses his paw to attack people, and poof, they're gone. And this Sugar can just, with one touch, and it's like instant poof, and they're a toy. So, and the interaction between Sugar and Treble, Sugar was like, you're disgusting, go die. And Treble is like, no, I'm not going to die. And I can't believe that he's assigned as her bodyguard, even though like she is disgusted by him. That means there is some dynamics between them as well. There's going to be, their fruit may complement each other, like we know. Is the sticky fruit? What's better? I mean, he just captures people and makes them stick in one place, and this girl goes and touches them, and bam, they're into toys. It's like the devil fruits are made for each other, kind of, And I like the dwarfs, but I think they're going to get owned, and it's going to be left on to Usopp to do something. But now against Treble, can Usopp and Robin do something? I'm not sure, and it's just going to be interesting. People found this part boring, but I didn't find it boring at all. I mean, compared to Jesus Bugs and Sabo and that epicness and Dragon Claw and all that, things going on there, this was a bit on the softer side of the story, but it's still progression, and Usopp still telling the dwarves to be silent because they're a bit on the overside of their shouting out stuff. I just found that all funny, and I didn't find it boring at all, and this chapter just was amazing, and that's it for my initial thoughts. I can't wait for the next chapter, though we have a break next week, and it's just going to, I just have one request for Oda for ages, that show us a bit about Sanji. Hopefully we see something soon, because it's overdue. But yeah, that's it for my initial thoughts. Next up is our host, Semi.
Thank you, Divkun. For this chapter, really, I say this a lot, but it happens a lot, so I can't really do anything about it. This is the type of chapter that I enjoy a lot, and especially when we see the likes of Jesus Burgess and the likes of Sabo doing their thing for the first time, for actually proceeding to showcase their abilities, their fighting styles, their God forbid fucking speed, and it's just I really love it when these things happen for the first time. But overall, the chapter is it was really, 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 really good. The progression from Sabo's part, the tourney's part, and the underground world's part. Despite people not enjoying the underground world, because you get to see a giant golem-like Rockman, and just absorbing the friggin' walls of a palace and getting them together, and you get to see dragon claws and elbow surges and all that, and then you get to see just dwarves talking about spice and knocking a girl out. But at the same time, it really progressed the arc. It really, and people don't realize how crazy Sugar's ability is. Divvens mentioned it, and I have to mention it again. It literally happens instantaneously. It just with a touch, a small little touch, you're turned into a full-on toy. It's not like there is a process or anything. You just turn into a toy. And I would like to see how the anime company Toei actually animate this part and extend it, because Oda went out of his way to do it before a sentence was complete. So I like that part. I really like that part, despite it being Cavendish. But there is this small theory about how he's going to turn into Hakuba. We don't know if toys sleep or not. Divvens was talking about that in the OroJackson discussion, One Piece discussion. But if they do sleep, Hakuba toy soldier, or just a Hakuba toy, that's still devastating. And as far as Pika, his fruit, some people don't like it because it's not an absolute fruit where it can merge with everything, or the word everything is really overused, and I wouldn't say it overused. It's commonly used in One Piece. You can hear everything sometimes. You can absorb everything, or you can repel everything. I'm just mentioning devil fruits and abilities. But with Pika, he's a full-fledged stone/rock man, where he assimilates rock, absorbs rock, turns into rock, changes his size, and to be honest, I like his fruit more than the merge fruit, because if you think about it, Earth is made of a lot of stone and rock, and potentially, if this guy masters his devil fruit and becomes extremely powerful, can control a huge portion of the Earth, to be honest. I know in One Piece it's mainly water, and islands have different, why am I even talking about this? All I'm trying to say is he can have a huge range of an AoE slash target range. I mean, we literally just saw that with the palace being controlled by his ability. And rightfully so. He's the ultimate guard. He's the ultimate goalkeeper. And I can't wait to see Zoro versus Pika, because it's pretty much confirmed. Pika will have some sort of hockey imbued stone where Zoro might have difficulties cutting, and I would like to see how Pika fights Zoro as well, which I'm really am looking forward to. And Luffy will just proceed. And I don't know what Viola is gonna do, but at the same time, she needs to stay alive. And so far, it's probably difficult with everything going on. And for the main meat of this chapter, first of all, Rebecca is a coward. I just want to say that because I like saying it. Second of all, no, sorry, I can't really call her a coward. She's actually thinking smart. She would get blasted by Burgess, but at the same time, she's weak. So yeah, screw you guys. As far as Sabo and Burgess, everything has been said. All I'm gonna say though is that we are looking at potential high to top tiers going at it with a guy who literally just swings his elbow, and that so casual swing creates such a hole in the Colosseum and shakes the whole place. Imagine for us, lifting the Colosseum and throwing it is nothing compared to what he could do when he goes all out. I'm afraid of seeing what he can do when he goes all out. But at the same time, Sabo, the whole fucking island is in danger if this guy goes all out. This guy's tiny little quote unquote dragon claw managed to not only equal the power of this no, I'm not going to say that he overpowered him, because the armor just broke from the shockwave of the two objects, two people attacking each other and contacting each other. But at the same time, I just love these kind of things, and I really noticed this hockey line between these two, and how Jesus Burgess' armor was hockeyed up as well. I'm not sure if Sabo touching the armor turns a little bit of the armor into hockey, but I've never seen that in One Piece, so I'm assuming that Jesus Burgess also used hockey on his second attack, because he didn't use it on the first one, and I'm assuming that on the second one he used it. So it was more or less a stronger attack, and at the same time Sabo easily equalized the attack. And seeing that cocky, confident smile of Burgess turning into a grin of, oh shit, this guy in front of me is the real deal. If I don't stop acting so casually, there is a threat of me not getting this fruit, not making the name of my captain proud, Blackbeard. When you're a fleet commander, let alone a first fleet commander, you have weight behind you. If you fail, your captain's name, Yonko, also gets disgraced. So I can't wait to see Jesus Burgess and Sabo somewhat go all out and showcase more of their abilities. A lot of people find Doflamingo versus Luffy much, much, much more hyped up, but at the same time, these two fights to me are almost equals. Luffy and Doflamingo more because Doflamingo, and you guys know me with Doflamingo. But at the same time, Burgess and Sabo, it's hard to get better than this. So yeah, overall, I just really like this chapter, and these are my initial thoughts. Takt, you can take it from here, bro.
Thank you, Sammy. My initial thoughts on this chapter, well, the first 8 pages, was it? Yeah, 8 pages is absolute brilliance, just from start to finish, how Pika's double fruit was revealed, and how the terrifying extent of its power was revealed. Just the fact that he can control an entire palace, and how he smashes those 2 balls together. It's just brilliant, and I love it. I like his fruit. Even though I was a little bit disappointed that it wasn't a mythical zone, but you can't have everything. After that, you're shown Jesus Burgess elbowing a hole through the Colosseum wall. What the hell? He's just insane at this point. But someone who's even more insane is not Sabo, Rebecca. Just standing, how she just stood behind Bartolomeo. That was hilarious. I was left laughing. How she was first knocked back by the fighting fish and then decided to just stand behind the troll in the Colosseum. Anyway, then you see Sabo versus Jesus Burgess. Oh my god. Wow. This guy, Sabo, what the hell? Yeah. There's not much to say. I mean, he was with one hand, he blocks Jesus Burgess's attack and shatters his armor. Who can do that? Who else can do that? Actually, a few other people on the island could probably do that, but still, Sabo is pretty awesome. And the rest of the chapter, well, it's just set up. It's set up for whatever happens in the toy factory. We get to know Trevor's devil fruit, which is a lot more disgusting. Yeah, it's just disgusting. I mean, people have speculated what? Mucus fruit, cement fruit. No. He's just a sticky man. Sticky man, hard to get hold of. And as the host before me, I've talked about the fact that Sugar's devil fruit is just instantaneous. It's quite OP. If you ask me, it's quite overpowered. Yeah, there's nothing much else to say really. Apart from, this is all built up. I'm pretty sure the dwarf's plan will fail somehow, and you will end up with Usopp having to snipe this spicy grape into Sugar's mouth directly. I'm pretty sure that will be Usopp's moment, and yeah, and I hope it comes quickly, because to be honest, I'm getting annoyed with Usopp's cowardice at this point. I know it's a running gag, and I know it's supposed to be funny, but please, let him get his moment soon. I want to see it. So yeah, that ends my initial thoughts for this chapter.
Thank you, Takt. That concludes our initial thoughts on the chapter. We're now going to move on to the key points. 4 key points for this chapter. First key point is that Pika continues to stop Luffy, Zoro, and Viola from proceeding to Doflamingo. Subpoints on key point, the usual, Pika's devil fruit is revealed. It's the Ishi no Mi. Pika is a rock assimilation man. Also, Pika is revealed to have full control over the palace due to what it's made of. And also, Pika proceeds to attack Luffy and Zoro by merging his giant rock arms with the walls and manipulating their structure and their position into, initiating an attack on Luffy, Zoro. I don't know if he attacked Viola, but if he did, she probably needs to be protected. But yeah. First of all, what do you guys, full on thoughts of Pika's devil fruit? Just the category, the structure, everything about it.
At first, I thought it was a Logia.
Yeah, because of
I thought it was a stone type
way
Logia.
it was merging and stuff. It was seeming like liquid, like it was any liquid material, and it was a natural substance as well. So it matches with the Logia, but I think now it's almost confirmed that it's a Paramecia, and Zoan is ruled out now. Because it's not an animal of any sort, or it's not ancient. So it's most probably Paramecia, and that means all 3 of them, the executive officers have Paramecia fruits. And the scale, if he goes, his full out form is just turning into the whole palace and just, standing there like Godzilla or something.
Oh, that would be epic. That would be absolutely
That would be good.
And Doflamingo is just on his shoulders there. He's like, foo, 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 foo.
Shit.
That might actually be one of the concluding scenes of the arc. Doflamingo's all injured and standing on Pika's shoulder, and he's like, thanks for covering me. And then Pika's like, he's the whole palace just standing there.
Usually, Pika, subordinate fights end, really, really early, in arcs. There's usually 2 chapters at maximum, but I really want, Oda to start, giving more space and more time for, other Straw Hats when it comes to how long their fights are. Kaku, and Zoro, Sanji, and Jaburo were in length nothing compared to Rob Lucci versus Luffy. So do you guys think that this is going to be the fight for Zoro? Firstly, do you guys think it's going to be a fight for Zoro? Because we're still not 100% sure if Zoro is going to fight Pika.
Sure, it's going to be a fight for Zoro.
I think it will be. Yeah, I really hope it is.
I'm not so sure yet.
No.
I mean,
me too. How is he a swordsman?
Yeah, Zoro has always fought swordsmen. If you remember, even against Baroque works, Mr. One was kind of a swordsman who used cutting attacks and stuff.
His body was a sword. Come on.
Yeah, that's right. So he always fights with someone who.
Sword.
Go on, Sammy.
No. I'm just saying that even if it's a devil fruit, even if it's anything, it's always something that cuts, something that
exactly.
can. Maybe armaments hockey will come to play to a point where I don't know.
But it doesn't always have to be this way. I mean, Oda can stop that trend right now.
Of course, but it's just that the swordsman fighting a swordsman.
And also, if you count Monet as a fight, it wasn't actually a fight, but still, if you count it as a fight, then she's not a swordsman either. And yet she was a subordinate whom, Zoro defeated.
I mean, no, he fought people who are not swordsmen before. He fought Kuma. He fought Oz before. He fought people. It's just that the 1v1 main battles for arcs. These have always been swordsmen versus.
Yeah. Okay, I guess Monet won't count in that.
It's just
I
like.
wouldn't count her because it was more for Tashigi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it was more like how Sammy mentioned against Oars, how every Straw had fought against Oars. So here it was just like a side battle, not the real. Monet wasn't the nemesis of Zoro for that arc, because Monet even fought Luffy. Seeing like that, Monet should be like the strongest person on Punk Hazard. She fought Luffy and Zoro both. So I just think that like the dynamics has always been that Zoro is a swordsman. He fights against the swordsman and grows stronger. But here it's more like...
the thing is there is no there are two sort of swordsmen in apostrophes. One is Diamante. He's a swordsman in quotes.
Sword.
Swordsman in quotes. And there's Fujitora, and he's not going to fight Fujitora.
Yeah, he's not going to fight.
And also, and about the natural nemesis thing, he doesn't have a nemesis in this arc.
We not yet.
Not yet, yeah.
Maybe his fight would be with Pika, and then it ends up as a goal to cut like the largest thing he has ever cut. I don't know.
Yeah, that would be a good one.
Yeah.
Thing is,
it's just the fruit that Pika has is like, it's not a Logia, so it's just like cutting normal rock for him, which is not really like, it'd have to be, if it's complemented with Haki, yeah, that's when it would be, and I could see this being a fight around that, like just him actually being able to penetrate his armor, and like his massive armor, he'll have a lot of strength behind him if he turns into, say, the whole castle.
Usually Zoro doesn't get outsmarted in fights. Because even though he's not really the most intelligent man, but in fights he's a genius. But I kind of see the scenario of Zoro saying, you're a rock man, I'll cut you with one slice, and then Zoro tries to cut him and is like, you fool, I improved my rock, all the way to the strength of diamond or something. It's even harder than steel, with my Haki and with my improvement, because we know for a fact that devil fruits don't always have the natural raw mass and power of their, element / substance. For example, Logia's ice is harder than fucking steel. Like, that's just an example. So, Pika's rock can be extremely hard, and harder than usual rock / stone. And complemented with Haki, it can be even harder. So I think that could happen, in my opinion.
Yeah. Also, the castle, like when he absorbs or assimilates rock, like he takes a lot of the items from the rock, like we saw candles on the last chapter, right? So there could be a bunch of other things that Zoro has to do, just plain rock. There could be a lot of objects. He could even have a sword in the middle of his like body or something like. There's a lot of variables that could happen just because he assimilates everything that the rock like is on attached to the rock or stone. So I don't know. It's really interesting.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, he could just pull up defenses. Like, he could put his hand through the wall and then new walls would come out. He could do all sorts of things.
I am all for it, but I like, what do you guys think, Pika would look good with a sword? Just
not like holding it, but like just like attached to him, like just like in the middle of his body. Because it was in a room or something that he picked up.
Okay, you have a point.
Speaking of sharp objects, I just wonder what those spikes are. The ones on his head and the ones on his shoulders.
Mm.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. He can use his rock form to like extend body parts of his and send like, those pointy things towards Zoro, and that's kind of cutting attacks and stuff. So then it's a battle where Zoro has to use his sword.
Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Like he has that thing on his face is like, it's not a part of him, it's like an item, right? Like he could pick up a sword, rock sword or something like that, right? Would that be viable? Like I don't know if he's able to do that, if he's able to turn the thing on his face into a larger version of itself.
Okay, let me put it this way, guys. Can he morph his arm into a gigantic rock sword? Yes.
No. Pick up a sword and morph into it.
Huh.
Because he morphed something that's not part of him into a bigger version of itself.
So that's like, if he takes rocks and then he can morph it into something. I'm not sure. He can assimilate with things. If he can like control the whole palace, then I think he can just be one with the world and be the palace itself,
Yeah, but at the same time, I do see a possibility of his arm into a sword, which I don't see why not, to be honest. Because him holding a sword looks weird, but him being a part of a sword is very plausible, and actually I would like.
That's true. Oh, yeah.
Okay, that was it for the first key point. The second key point being the battle in the final stage of the tournament continues, which, in my opinion, the highlight of this chapter. In this key point, we get to see Jesus Burger showcasing an attack on one of the fighting fish who leaps towards him. We also get to see Rebecca struggling with the not being able to cut the chains and the horns of the fighting fish with the treasure chest and hiding behind Bartolomeo. We also get to see Sabo attempting to open, but he got somehow somewhat interrupted by Diamante, which didn't last long, and also the infamous Burgess and Sabo clash. So, first of all, before I even begin, Diamante and Bartolomeo, what's their purpose there? Like, what is their purpose in the tournament at the moment?
Diamante just looks like he's useless so far. He hasn't been able to show much, but he's extremely confident because he thinks it's Straw Hat still that he could have done damage to him, but I don't think that would have been the case either. And now he's getting even more destroyed by Sabo, it seems, and he just looks completely, I don't know, he looks shuffled, like he's confused as to who this is, and I don't know what he's gonna do, like what tricks. He must have something else he can do. He's not just gonna like fight with random swords. He must have some sort of manipulation of battlefield techniques, but aside from him, Barto is probably just, as we thought, support. He hasn't done anything except defend himself. He's just sat there, and now Rebecca's using that as a defensive, like, station, so we'll see. But he probably just
we predicted that Bartolomeo will protect Rebecca, and lo and behold, that is actually what happened.
He's not actively protecting Rebecca.
Of course,
She's standing behind him.
I mean, in some way, shape, or form, the attacks that happen are being blocked by Bartolomeo, which helps Rebecca somehow.
Yeah.
So,
Maybe.
It must be as well as those two. What is Rebecca's purpose? Like, perhaps she might actually do a complete 180 and actually backstab Barto, like, if he's not expecting it. I don't know, but there's just those three. We've got the main clash, of course, which is epic, and then the other three are just sort of there right now. Sorry about that.
Diamante is, I get the feeling he's waiting. I mean, he's waiting till people attack the number one fish, because he only took action when somebody attacked the number one fish. When Burgess was doing his elbow surge, he was like, no, I don't care about that. Number one fish? Oh, I need to intercept people.
Maybe he doesn't want anybody to just get it off the fish so easily. So he's
Yeah.
going to make sure that nobody's taking it from the fish, and while avoiding the others, and maybe he's playing the smart game of letting the others pick themselves, go
Take
fight.
each other out.
Yeah, and then he faces the person who is a bit more spent than him.
Yeah, that's a smart game, yeah.
And to be honest, I mean, Diamante was confident enough with Luffy's power and him being able to take him on when even after seeing a glimpse of Luffy's power, full potential power, which was Chinjao versus Luffy, even with Burgess. So does that mean both of them being caught off guard with Sabo? Does that confirm that Sabo has shown more potential in terms of power?
Huh?
So
What does that have to do with this?
what do you mean with this?
What potential
No, I don't.
compared to the other two, or compared to Luffy? Wait.
Like compared to what would have been expected, because we all talked about how Sabo being turned, going in would make everyone get caught off guard, and rightfully so. That's what happened. But overall, is being caught off guard really what made them, made Burgess go from full on smiley face to full on frowning face, or is it really just raw power that made him get caught off guard?
Oh, I think it is actually raw power. Just like Luffy's actually a bit of a slow starter in fights. Like with Chinjao, he was sort of just fighting even, then he shot him. But Sabo is just out of the gate, just blitzing around with speed and just like countering everything like it's pretty simply. So he must just have more base power,
So he's
ability. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's raw power that shocked them. It's not potential or anything. It's just how Sabo just, when somebody smashes your armor, you're obviously going to be shocked by it. It's not like you're going to say, oh, he has potential. No.
No, that's not what I meant. I'm just saying how this man right now is making everyone in the I wouldn't say that, but at the same time he countered Diamante completely, broke his long sword, blitzed everyone. He got to the chest, and when Burgess tried to attack him, he destroyed he's doing work is the way to say it. He's really everything right now. He's the main.
He's been decisive, yeah.
Yeah. And I like that about Sabo so far. I'm calling this, I should probably call him Lucy for some, just to be more official, but, it's Sabo, so it doesn't really matter. Yeah. What do you guys think of, Rebecca?
That was a nice comedy moment. How she's just standing beside Bartolomeo with a straight face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's like,
that was good.
I know I can't survive, so I'm just going to stand behind this guy because he has this barrier thing. And then Bartha is like, what are you doing behind me? And that expression in which he's like, he knows that she's taking advantage of his, ability. And many people thought that Rebecca was behind him because she wanted to attack from behind. But it's clearly seen by her facial expression and Bartho's reaction. That she's just there to take advantage of Bartho's barrier and nothing else. She has no other motive.
Yeah, she's actually been really made to look quite useless. Like the one thing she had going for her was that she won the block because of her speed, although it wasn't really like anything to do with strength. She won because she had great speed. And then in this chapter alone, they showed Sabo completely blitzing her abilities, and then she's like, okay, well I'm just gonna go hard behind this barrier now. So it's just
Yeah, not only that, she manages to not be able to dodge the fighting fish as well. So there goes her dodging abilities.
I mean, didn't she try to cut the chains or something? I'm not really sure, but whatever she tried to do, it failed. Yeah. And I do think she will have some sort of role by the end of the term, as well as for everyone, to be honest, but most importantly, Rebecca. Sadly so. I think, she'll do something epic, if you will, and, like, be the cause of whoever the fruit goes to, like, maybe just, shock everyone with an attack that shuts someone up. I see that happening for some reason, because Rebecca is a fan favorite at the moment, which means Oda will give her more than usual. So that Rebecca aside, Bartholomew, I don't know, he's just going to keep blocking because I don't see him doing anything else. If he tries to do something, he's going to get rejected by Diamante, Sabo, and Burgess. He's just going to, he's there to protect Rebecca at the moment.
I'm kind of convinced that Bartholomew is there to support Sabo. So if Sabo's in a tight spot somehow, then he's gonna block anything that's gonna hurt Sabo.
Can he?
Is he capable of? Yeah, I don't think he's capable of doing that, but he's there.
Capable of at least reducing the damage. I mean,
yeah, he can be a nuisance at least.
Yeah, it's like putting up a brick wall in front of a truck. The truck is still going to slow down. It may crash through the brick wall, fine, but it's still going to slow down.
Yeah, it's like when people are chasing after someone and you like throw like a bin, like an alley in front of them just so they have to jump over it. So it's an obstacle pretty much.
But basically just, okay, got it.
But I think he's more there to make sure that while Sabo is fighting someone, nobody else interferes. So like if Sabo is fighting Burgess, Bartholomew makes sure that he keeps Diamante busy so that Diamante doesn't try to take advantage of Sabo being busy with Burgess and tries to attack him from behind or something.
Yeah, that's the point of having support. So
if you play League of Legends, he's support right now, and that's what he does. While Sabo is DPS and Burgess is tank.
Rebecca's a feeder. The Dragon Claw epic panel. I just want to give that panel just a quick shout out again, just because that made the chapter just amazing again. So I just loved it.
Speaking of the clash, do you guys think that Burgess used Haki though?
Oh, because his armor turned black, right?
Black, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was because of Sabo. I thought Sabo's Dragon Claw made it turn black, but it makes more sense that Burgess used Haki.
No, but you see when after his attack, you also see that these generally the
black
impact black lines. Generally the impact lines are more like thunder, like the ones which happened after Xin Zhao and Luffy clashed.
Something wearing? That's something he's wearing. He was wearing like some sort of robe-ish thingy on his right shoulder, I'm pretty sure.
Not really. I mean, he's wearing a cape type of, the same as...
Oh yeah, he sort of is.
No, like the cape-ish thing is like strapped around his arm as well, and it just rotates. That's what I noticed.
It's just a shoulder pad, not the actual whole arm. That's what you mean?
Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, would that really be the shockwave of it, like, just going through his arm?
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
No, I don't think so. Like, are you speaking about Burgess's arm?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has a cloth there. He has a cloth behind his armor. But, the thing which I am talking about are those black lines which, like, you see the impact lines, you see the clouds, which just poof out.
It right now, yeah.
But then there's a very clear black line, and even in the next, the panel beside that, where you see his armor breaking, the black lines are very clearly outlined there, like going up and down in every direction. So I think that when Xin Zhao and Luffy clashed, that wasn't the case. It was just like electric static, between two clashes, that epic boom boom type of stuff. But here, it feels like the Dragon Claw released some kind of Haki everywhere, like in every direction, and it's like Haki just bursted out. It's like blood spurting out, but that's just Haki.
So you're saying maybe it was Sabo's Haki that made Burgess's armor black?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's how he broke it.
That'd be a first. That would be first. No, I think it broke just simply because of the impact. Like, you don't put armor in between Elbow Surge and Dragon Claw. You just don't. Armor disappears. Simply put.
Okay, so let's say if Burgess also used COA, and Sabo used COA, and the both clash created that kind of ripple effect, and then that just means Sabo's Haki kind of overpowered Burgess's. Which
I kind of think that would be the case, because Sabo, like the way he does his attack, I agree with Divvens on one thing in particular, which is his type of Haki is somewhat different, because I don't know, the way he did his attack, like why would he like, is there wisdom behind how he used his, the shape of his arm before he attacked? Is there any wisdom for it?
Yeah, because if you have 3 focal points for all your force to be put onto, you have basically you have giant force on a small surface area, which gives more penetration. That's the logic behind the attack.
Mm.
Okay.
That's basically why you use Dragon Claw. Yeah.
It may not have necessarily had stronger haki than Burgess, but he had stronger haki than just the cheap. That's Colosseum armor, isn't it? That's imbued by haki. Like, Burgess doesn't actually wear that, so he's stronger than that imbued with it. And especially because of what you just said, being 3 focal points makes it much easier to break something because of the penetration. So that's sort of what I got from that panel and the next panel after it.
I'm trying to look back at the Shinjao and Luffy punch, to see if that black haki thing was even in their battle. Then if it was in their punch, like the punch which Luffy and Shinjao had, then that means that the impact lines or that black type of haki which is just coming out of everywhere is just went to...
It's really hard.
But Oda may just vary his impact lines for artistic purposes. It might not,
No, I'm sure he has done it for a reason. Because if 2 haki users clash, and if there's impact lines like that, then that just means that when really, really strong COAs clash, something like that always ends up happening. I'm not sure, like...
I really want to know...
Yes. I've just checked chapter 716. The black line, the exact same black impact lines which go every direction, up, down, right, left, is also with Shinjao and Luffy, and it generates at the exact point where both their fists meet, like with the COA covered, and here as well, you see it generating from where Sabo and Burgess's armor and hand connect. So I guess that is in fact Burgess's color of armaments haki. I guess that kind of confirms it.
So Burgess used COA, nice.
Rightfully so, I mean. But still, Burgess was being overconfident while Sabo knew what he was up to. Like who he was up against, to be honest. Like the second he saw Burgess, he mentioned that this is the first fleet commander. And while Burgess is just chilling and being very confident, and now that's all gone. That's just out of the way. And now from here on, we get to see what they're capable of. I don't want to say completely, but at the same time, to a certain extent, you agree that they have to put a lot of effort, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be really easy. There is going to be effort. But I mean, Sabo said that I'm not going to let you get it easily. Manga Panda totally screwed up that line. But the actual line was Sabo said, I'm as if I'd let you get it that easily. So he's serious about getting the fruit, and so is Burgess now that, as Sammy said, his captain's pride is also on the line. If Burgess loses, then Blackbeard's name itself goes down as a whole. Like how embarrassing would it be to have a fleet commander, captain, whatever he is, to just go and lose in some random tournament,
Yeah, exactly. To some no-name guy. I mean, Sabo is extremely powerful, but at the same time, he has no name. Like, he's not really popular.
Indeed.
He's Lucy.
Yeah.
And that also, he's unknown. Lucy, as a whole character, is unknown to any person on Dressrosa except those who are in the know-how.
I just want to let you guys know that Rebecca does not know who Monkey D. Luffy is. She always calls him as Lucy.
Yeah.
She never called him with his real name. Who would know? Diamante knows.
Diamante knows.
Yeah.
Burgess knew it was Luffy, yeah. But he has still not realized that it was Luffy. It is not Luffy there. I don't know how he has not realized. I mean, he's so up close to him, but he has not realized. I think the fake scar would be a big giveaway up close, wouldn't it?
Fucking, I don't understand. Like, the scene ended off quickly. So maybe he's gonna say something when they go back to that scene, like, "Hey man, you're not Luffy, aren't you?" or something like that. Mm-hmm. So we might see that.
And but, I also want to know, speak about just we just saw one small panel of him, but it raises a lot of questions. Bartholomew was fanboying over Sabo as well. He's like, that's my great senpai for you.
Oh, that was really good, yeah.
So does he know that it is Sabo?
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Maybe Sabo told him.
He knows, guys. I'm telling you, he knows.
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if he knows.
Did Bartholomew research?
I'm pretty sold on him knowing now.
Did Bartholomew research so much on Luffy that he has gone back to the past and found a dead brother? You know.
Oh, no.
There's no way that he would know about Sabo. There's no way anyone would know about Sabo from research.
Not even the Straw Hats. No, it's like the only way is that Luffy, while trying, said, "This guy was my brother, my brother," or said maybe it was because he thought he was dead.
Maybe.
Why am I focusing on past tense and present tense?
Barto just traveled to the Dawn, just had a casual chat.
But I need to say something real quick. Sabo looks fucking beast.
Yeah, with the sunglasses, he's
like... My favorite panel of Sabo is not the clash with him and Jesus Burgess. It's the one where, that small panel where he's standing on top of the fighting fish while Burgess charges up. I'm like, whoa, badass, man. He's just standing there with his staff. Wow.
And he also, with that pipe thing, he just broke Diamante's sword like it was nothing. That steel thing, he just broke it into two pieces. And it wasn't even visible that he used Haki. He didn't use Haki on the pole.
Actually, let me see.
I think he might have.
It looks black to me.
Yeah, it is like,
use Haki on it.
It is.
Oh, come on, guys. The pole is too thin for you to even tell. I mean,
it could have just been shadow, or it could have just been normal. But he did
this is,
brave
by the way,
the.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'm also happy that he doesn't only use the pole. He actually uses his arm and hand, and in the future perhaps his legs, and all that. But yeah, overall, this key point is just a bundle of joy and happiness for us, One Piece fans. It's just a bundle of excitement, everything there is for us to have, really. Now let's go on to the third key point, which is Sugar and Frable showcasing their powers. Firstly, I just need to comment on how Sugar's ability is just monstrous and downright hacks. It just instantly turns anything and anyone, perhaps anything, into a toy. That right there is just too much. Cavendish getting a command on what he needs to do and being forgotten instantly is also just reinforcement to how instant everything is with this fruit. It's just a basis of in a routine. You get turned into a toy, you get told what you need to do, and you're forgotten. Also, Trable's fruit gets revealed, the Beta Beta no Mi. He's a stick man, and he showcased his ability with how Cavendish was forcefully stuck to wherever he was on. I think it was a bed. But yeah, basically it's strong enough to make to immobilize Cavendish. And also the panels of the Ballo, Hack, and Sai as Toei is commenting on what's going on and how Zaballo as a king is pissed off that he's a toy. Sai is just, even though he's a toy, he's commenting on the underground weapons and whatnot. And Hack being confirmed either a revolutionary or associate of revolutionaries. So overall, what do you guys think about this? What do you guys think about the abilities? What do you guys think about the Beta Beta no Mi? Because it's a confirmed fruit. Are you happy that it's a stick fruit and not a slug fruit or whatever?
I'm just going to say that that's like disgusting. It's even more. I mean, I thought, what's his name? The guy who planned to kill Straw Hats, but he just failed epically. He was like the New World Buggy. Caribou, yeah. See, I forgot his name as well. I thought his mud fruit was.
It's a good thing to forget his name. He's
disgusting enough. I mean, the panels with where he was capturing Shirao, she was totally meant to be taken another way. But I'm not even kidding. And I thought his fruit was disgusting enough, the mud fruit. Now you see Treble, the sticky fruit, and I mean, how can someone have so much snot up their nose and not die?
Why exactly? Oh my god. What is with this? You notice his lips have some sort of sticky gooey going out of them, and just, oh my.
It's not just his lips. It looks like his hair is made of sticky stuff.
Yeah.
And
Even his cape. Yeah.
Yeah, even his cape, yeah.
About that, I just don't want to. Even Sugar, gross, die.
Yeah, she's like,
Yucky, go die.
go
She's
die.
awesome.
She's like, she's just, and with such a straight face, she's like, I mean, she's not even caring. I mean, she's, yeah, whatever, you go die. I don't care.
What the fuck is with Trey Bowles? Cause now it's confirmed to me. What is with his body? Why does it look like a horse with 3 humps? Like a horse camel.
A camel with 3 humps? What?
Like, go to the page that before the gross die,
Oh,
state.
yeah, I see it.
And look at
I
his
see it.
body. It's so weird. His head is in the middle of his body while his back is just 3 humps and is like animal-ish, not humanish.
Actually, you see, things like these make me think he's a Logia and not a Paramecia.
But
But
maybe he's
how-
just in he's in his element form. Because he's using the sticky fruit there. So he's
Well, if he's in his
Yeah, his
element
cape's
form,
dripping
then
a
that
lot.
wouldn't that count as Logia?
I mean, Paramecias can turn their
Magellan
physical-
can do that.
Yeah,
He's not-
But that's true.
Magellan
can do that.
really changed his appearance to a, like with the purple with the
Yeah.
like ultimate with his
all
ultimate form.
poison body, full poison
Mhm.
body.
Yeah, but the thing is, you see the cloak. If you notice the cloak, there is an arm coming out of the cloak, and not an arm. It's just
A
and
fist.
it's holding the key.
Yeah, stuff.
Yeah.
Logia.
What the fuck is going on with Trey Ball? Seriously, someone is
No, see, I think he was using.
this guy.
You can compare the both panels. On one panel, his lower body
He's
is
using
missing.
it.
Yeah, his lower body is missing, and then the next panel, his lower body,
Is there.
including his legs and everything, is there.
Weird.
I think in that panel he's in his elemental form and he slowly goes back to normal in the next
Yeah.
panel.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
basically what happens.
and yeah, to be honest, stop changing your appearance so much, dude. And he still has these humps on the second panel. Like his head is slightly under the average where a head would be positioned, and like his back is popping up. It's just it's seriously just an appearance. Oda likes to go wild with his appearances.
No, like if
So-
you see page 16 when Usopp and now Robin are spying, and when he's walking away, he doesn't have those humps. He's just
Yeah.
in his appearance.
Still, his head is.
Yeah.
He's still a hunchback though. He
Yeah.
looks like
Yeah.
a hunchback.
That is one hell of a hunchback as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's a Logia. I'm 99.99999% sure it's not a Logia, because Logias are always elements. Maybe if it was some sort of sticky,
But how would you call
gum-
mud an element?
Yeah, that's what I was
It is
thinking.
a
Is
combination.
Well, it's a thing. Like mud is a thing. Sticky
Yeah.
is not a thing. Sticky's a attribute
Mud-
of something.
Mud is a combination of
Yeah,
sand.
okay, I get that. Yeah, sticky is a adjective, yeah.
just
Yeah,
like
but-
poison. Poison isn't a natural substance.
Mm.
It's just out of something. No.
Yeah, and like also wax. Wax is not an element. It's just you
A
see what.
tangible substance, yeah.
No, but he wasn't a wax man. He just produced wax.
Well, because he's Mr. 3, and Mr. 3
Yeah.
doesn't really.
I think
He
if
doesn't
he
know how
if
to-
he actually wanted to use his devil fruit properly, he could turn himself into like this dripping wax thing. If he
Okay.
trained enough, maybe he was not.
Simply-
Probably comes with expertise, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, other than that, guys, I would like to also talk about Cavendish. Is he gonna have a role other than being a toy?
You know, that's like when you brought that up in your first impressions, or I don't know where you brought it up regarding me talking about it.
I finished action, yeah.
Yeah. Some people said that he's going to turn into Hakuba, and then Hakuba disobeys all orders. Because look, if Sugar is
Yeah.
the one making contracts,
Yeah.
Treble doesn't even remember who Cavendish was after he was turned into toy. Even Treble
What?
instantly lost all memories of Cavendish. Okay, so
Thank you. While looking at him.
yeah, while
Like-
looking at him, it was like instant memory loss. And it wasn't even, if we were like, what the fuck, who are you? And what are you doing here? He was like, he's totally calm about it. So it was so instant that, like, I don't even know if Usopp and Robin who are seeing that, if they remember who Cavendish is, because they must have lost memories as well. But
they even know? I don't
They
think
don't even know Cavendish.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No, Robin
they don't
would
know.
know. Robin would know. But regardless of that, what I'm trying to say here is Sugar makes the contract. She makes them listen to the rules and stuff. But why is Toy Soldier disobeying these rules? Why is he attacking
And
Tokyo?
why?
You gotta interrupt me,
Wait,
don't you?
wasn't it-
You gotta change.
Another one for the gag reel. I think in the case of Toy Soldier.
Wait, just sorry.
What the fuck?
No. I just need to say this. Rebecca and Viola remember Toy Soldier, right?
Yeah,
Do they?
they don't remember the original form of his.
I don't remember
Just
who
know
he
Yeah,
is.
they don't know
Everybody
his
just-
original form. They know who he is. They know who Toy Soldier is. They don't know who's behind Toy Soldier.
Hey, let me think.
Rebecca doesn't know he's her father and stuff like that. And Viola never stated who Toy Soldier was, just that Toy Soldier and the dwarves helped Rebecca grow. But here, I'm talking about Sugar is making the pact. Toy Soldier is not following the pact. Toy Soldier has broken from the pact somehow. So it is possible for Cavendish to break from the pact if Hakuba comes out. But the biggest doubt is, do toys even sleep? Can toys even sleep? Because we have seen that the toys work in the night. They go to the toy house and they're working. We haven't seen them sleeping as such. And if toys can't feel things like sadness, sorrow, pain, anger, it is said that they can't feel emotions. So can they feel things like being tired and being, stuff, wanting to sleep? Do they have those human connections still? And will Cavendish ever be able to fall asleep to bring out Hakuba? I'm not sure.
If Cavendish has a sleeping disorder that is inherently part of his body, and that same body turned into a toy, then he might actually turn into Hakuba.
Yeah. So
If he actually has narcolepsy, then he might turn into Hakuba. But back to the Toy Soldier thing, I think one way he could have avoided it, broken out of the contract, so to speak, is not make the contract in the first place. Sugar might have touched him, but before she could make the contract with him, he might have escaped. That might have been the case with Toy Soldier.
Or it was just a different contract or whatever.
She just needs to tell them that, isn't it? She just needs to say two sentences.
No, but Sugar might have touched him and immediately he might have run away. Who knows? And
but you can still hear it.
Many other factors.
How long?
He ran away far enough for him not to hear it. Goddamn it!
Yeah, the time that Doflamingo took over was a time of chaos. Anything might have happened for Soldier to be able to run away.
The thing that Takt is trying to say, which by the way I really see, is that in order for a toy to do things, he needs to be commanded. In what way did Sugar not command or make a contract with Toy Soldier? We don't know, but it is a possibility in my opinion.
And also there's the other possibility that these contracts weren't even part of Sugar's thinking when she came to take over the kingdom. They might have been something that Doflamingo thought of later on.
Yeah, was she even has she turned people into toys before they arrived there? Like, we don't know how much experience or structure.
Sorry, but she turned soldiers into
she turned
toys.
some soldiers who still supported King who were turned into toys.
My point is she might have done that later when Doflamingo thought of that idea. Initially, Sugar might not have thought of the idea of making contracts, but then later Doflamingo was like, okay, you can turn them into toys. Now make them do this.
I think Treble was the key to it as well.
That doesn't come just like that, Takt. If it is a part of her power, it needs to be from the starting. She can't just start making contracts in between and the toys will start listening. Isn't that right? I mean, if she all of a sudden, Doflamingo, for the first 5 years she was just turning people into toys without contracts, and then Doflamingo says, hey Sugar, I want you to make contracts. She can't just start making contracts. It must be a part of her ability.
No, I'm not saying she didn't have it. I'm saying she didn't think of using it.
But Toy Soldier for some reason.
Yeah, with Toy Soldier for some reason, yeah.
Toy Soldier is a mystery, to be honest. He's a mystery.
Anyway, the point with Cavendish is that maybe if he has a sleep disorder, then he could just wake up as Hakuba as a toy. So who knows?
Yeah,
I was just thinking myself that Treble's a key part of the process, and there when Toy Soldier was turned into, or whatever his name is turned into a toy soldier. Like, every time that we've seen someone's turned into a toy, his hypnosis or whatever has been said, you work for Doflamingo now. Maybe he didn't say to Toy Soldier, you work for Doflamingo. And maybe that was part of the contract even. Like an extension of it, just his ability, maybe just his hypnosis ability, I don't know, but every time we've seen someone get turned into a toy, I think it's only 2 times, when Sai did, and now when Cavendish has, he said you work for Doflamingo, no one remembers who you are. If he didn't say that to Toy Soldier, then that's probably why he's got such free will to not work for Doflamingo. That's only what I was thinking.
You know, Sugar is complemented by Treble's sticky ability in a way where they don't freak out, they don't run away, they stay in their place, and then they get their contract, and then they're free to go, technically free to go. So maybe Toy Soldier was turned into a toy, not with Treble's help. You know, there are a lot of possibilities, but that's not really what about this chapter was about. By the way, so Hack is confirmed revolutionary associate. What did he want to report? Like, what was the report? Like, does that confirm that Koala has more things to do than just watching Sabo?
No, I think Koala forgot about him after he turned into
he
a
lost
toy.
her memories.
So she was like, what should I do? And then she was like, oh, Sabo is in the Coliseum. Let me just go there, you know, because that was the only natural thing for her to do, because she had forgotten about Hack. And Hack is speaking that to think that this harbor was underground the whole time, but I can't even make contact with anyone. Koala is waiting for a report. Won't I have even a moment of freedom? So they're working without their will are saying something. Their inside is saying something else, but they are being forced to work. They are not even, you know, in their own will to move out of their queue and go do something else. So I think here Hack is totally forgotten about. I'm not sure if anybody remembers Hack, and I don't think they even predicted something like this would go on, because, see, it is clearly sure that the rebels didn't know that the harbor was underground. They were investigating, but they didn't know by Hack's reaction. So I think they weren't prepared for memory loss of any kind, and Koala maybe would have been waiting for Hack's report, but after Hack got turned into a toy, everybody must have forgotten about him, and Koala just decided, what am I doing in this disguise? Let me just go to the Coliseum and look at Sabo and stuff like that. But that also brings me to one point. We haven't seen Shinjao turn into a toy yet. He was with King Ringo, but he has not been turned into a toy.
We don't know if he has been turned into a toy or not, but you would assume Oda showing him instead of Sai would be more important. Weird.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
He's not very talkative though. He's only been really focused on Luffy. Like Sai and that just talk like.
Still comment on the fact that
he might be coming soon. Is what I mean. Like he'll be part of when he's like cursing Doflamingo or something while he's
actually,
working.
The choice of people to show as toys was interesting. You had the king, who nobody. I mean, I don't really. In place of the king, you could have had Shinjao.
Yeah, but it didn't show Shinjao, which makes me feel that he's not turned into a toy.
Yeah. For
whatever reason, he's just kept there. Maybe. Maybe Doflamingo wants to make a contract with Hapo, the country, and I don't know what's his.
Didn't he already turn Sai into a toy?
But Shinjao doesn't remember that.
Yeah.
I know. But at the same time, like.
So Shinjao directly becomes the leader of the Hapo Navy, and Doflamingo is like, you have no grandsons. What are you going to do after you die? Who's going to lead the Hapo Navy and stuff like that? He tries to blackmail him into like giving him the Hapo Navy or control of the country or something like that. You never know what's up with Doflamingo. He's always scheming something.
Yeah, he's always like he loves to ally with people. He wanted to ally with Crocodile. He always wants to be allied with someone. Yeah. You have a point. Just he wants more influence.
But to be honest, he has more on his plate. In the palace.
Yeah, it might be like a flashback. Might be done in the past. So, but they might also bring up a good future point when everyone is turned back into normal, and Shinjao with his head like continent crashing headbutt comes to take on peak of the palace, just cursing Doflamingo the whole time. I don't know.
I'm more
he was
thinking
blackmailed.
that Fujitora is going to, if Pika turns into like Godzilla-sized palace standing just wall of brick, and then Fujitora just pulls him down with his power of gravity and makes him crash the ground like, come here, you bitch, and bam, you know.
Or he throws him into the air first, and then he comes down as a comet.
Yeah.
Or Zoro actually beats him. Stop making people. Seriously, just let Zoro beat the guy.
How is Zoro going to cut such a big thing? I mean,
No,
even if
I think it's time for Zoro to finally go all out and actually show us what
he
he
hasn't
can do.
gone all out yet. Like, New World, so.
He has not done anything.
He has done
Shit.
nothing.
To going all out.
He did that whole beast thing against Monet. That was all well and good,
Yeah.
but I wanted to like go.
His abilities are just being so hidden. Like Oda's given Sanji just random clashes with strong fighters, and Zoro's like, "Hey, it's a snow woman," and that's about it. So it's like, what the fuck?
It's a snow woman whom you can scare into cutting half. You can scare her and cut her in half. You don't have to use haki. It's fine. Just scare her.
Just tell her, let her know that you have hockey. That's it. That's all you need to do. But yeah, I mean, thing is, Sanji, Oda decided some of his stronger attacks. Not really, just him being, struggling with Doflamingo and Virgo. And now he's not gonna fight anyone 1v1, if you will. I don't think he's in a place or a position where he can fight anyone 1v1, because if he does, then there is a huge ship that will intercept whatever 1v1 you're having. So he with Sanji so he can kind of feel comfortable. But he showed us nothing with Zoro because he's planning on making him go full out on Dressrosa. You guys see that happening?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that kind of sums up what key point number 3 was, even though Zoro and Sanji have absolutely nothing to do with it. But yeah, key point number 4, the plan of defeating, of actually turning people into humans again is fully explained, in detail by the dwarfs. Firstly, Ruben and Usopp finally identify and locate their targets. The dwarfs reveal the secret sure knockout weapon, the spiciest seasoning, tatababasco. Sounds so retarded when I say it, oh my god. And, tatababasco is so hot that in an experiment, all 50 dwarfs who ate the seasoning became unconscious, and 18 were on the dying. Also, Leo mentions Sugar's love to grapes and explains how he will be the one to place the grape-looking seasoning into her basket. Leo is the notion of how when Sugar eats the seasoning and goes unconscious, chaos will uphold and the evil that is Doflamingo will be exposed. Not too much to say about this other than this is not going to happen. This plan is not going to work out because it's too much highlight for dwarves. We need to see Robin and Usopp do a lot. And how is it going to fail though? Like what? Div said something about Trable seeing the dwarves before they noticing something and doing something about it. Do you guys agree with that? Like completely? Like this is the way that it's going to happen?
It's not going to happen this way. No. They'd have to include Robin and Usopp in their plan's success in some way, whether it's like Robin holds Sugar down as Usopp shoots it in from far away or something, but Treble's going to intercept, or God forbid he randomly steals one of the grapes and eats it himself and just sticks around everywhere. Like something's going to happen that will throw this plan off, because nothing in One Piece goes as like foreshadowed for 20 chapters that, oh, this is the plan, we've got to plan it, oh, it's Sop, oh, it's this Tatabasco, we're going to shoot it in. It's just going to fail horribly, and hopefully Usopp stops being a complete coward, because it is actually getting annoying this arc. I don't know. He just feels like he's a complete pussy this arc.
Yeah, all he's been doing is lying and running away. Honestly, I want him to just pick up that thing and shoot it into Sugar's mouth, or at least try and fail and run away screaming, obviously.
At least try.
Yeah, at least try.
Yeah, indeed, Takt, I agree. Like, I think that the dwarves aren't going to get the time to shine. It's not their time to shine. It's Usopp's time to shine, and we always know Usopp likes to go for someone who is weaker than him. He's always ready to take on challenges that's weaker than him. Like when he noticed that Perona's ability was not working on him, and when he knew that she was just a little girl, he was running behind her. But when he noticed that she totally turned into a giant, he was shitting his pants. So this is totally his playing field, but it isn't going to go as he planned. And I think if Lao Ji can keep up with the speed of dwarves, Trebol being above Lao Ji, I'm sure to notice that kind of speed is no problem for Trebol, and he may just notice the dwarf before he even drops.
They can do it off guard. Like they can sort of do it in a way where they know this man can probably see me, but at the same time they use like stealth mode. Like for example, Zoro didn't see the dwarf taking his sword. So
that's because Zoro was distracted by Fujitora back then. He wasn't like totally concentrating. Sure. But here Trebol is concentrating around Sugar. Now, another funny thing which Cam just brought up, or Takt, I forgot which one of them, it was that if they drop the spice, I'm not going to say the name because it's just going to sound ridiculous. If they drop that thing into her bowl and Trebol just decides, oh, let me take a bite out of it, and he picks up that one and just eats it, and he happens to just knock out. You know? He's out cold.
That would be hilarious.
So convenient, but
that would be
absolutely hilarious.
And even still, even if that really doesn't ruin the plan, because the only, and to be honest with you, the only threat there, Trebol being knocked out, if he really doesn't get knocked out, and Robin, Usopp, all the dwarves are looking at Sugar, she's gonna pass out. I mean, unless she's a genius at combat and we don't know.
Look,
she just doesn't give a shit because she looks like she doesn't.
She's obviously older than she looks. At least 20, 25, 30. So that maturity level will be there with her. So getting instantly knocked out may not happen, but I do predict something like, Trebol eating it, getting knocked out, and then just when Usopp thinks that, oh, we have got this, and he tries to do something, and then Trebol is just back up, standing behind Usopp with a badass face.
With Usopp-kun.
Yeah, and then Usopp is like, oh my god, I'm going to be so royally screwed,
Wonder if it's gonna, or not resemble the Perona fight, but like, Sugar doesn't, maybe she gets in range of Usopp, but she doesn't touch him because he already looks like Pinocchio, so he's like, this guy's leaves him alone. Because she doesn't care. Yeah, she doesn't care. Oh, look at that nose. Alright. Well, just walks away from him.
Jesus, that would be so fucking...
Yeah, just like how everybody thinks Frankie's a toy. Just assume he's a toy.
Because of his hair. Because his hair is cannon shaped. Oh my god, that was hilarious.
But yeah,
anyway.
Thing is, as far as Usopp is concerned, and the whole situation to us is concerned, I don't want it to end like on a funny note only. I want humor to be there. I mean, Trebol and Usopp are in the same scene, so you're gonna laugh somehow, some way. Like, and dwarves. The dwarves are funny. Just being there and talking makes them. I don't know. I just find it funny. But I want seriousness from Usopp. In some way, shape, or form. I want him to struggle like the way he struggled with Mr. 4 when he was teaming up with Chopper. Cause that was just brilliant. How it's gonna get to that degree, I don't know. But I just find it convenient, too convenient for them to turn back into humans, even before Luffy getting to Doflamingo, even before the Coliseum fight ending. It's just too convenient. Do you guys think that would be the best thing for this story to develop? Just,
it would be too convenient. I agree. It probably would be the best for it to happen when Luffy is fighting Doflamingo, because I think last week I mentioned it, how his mental state might be different if he's fighting Luffy compared to Law. And just imagine his mental state if his whole toy army comes undone in the middle of that fight. Like, that timing would be a lot better, and it'd mean that they have struggled, because right now their plan's about to succeed, like, within the next, very soon. but it's not going to be the case. It's going to take a lot longer, and Luffy is not even near Doflamingo yet. Like, he still has to deal with Pika for now. So I'd hope it happens during the fight, just as another mental issue for Doflamingo to tackle.
A mental thing that Doflamingo needs to take in consideration, yeah. But what is Robin gonna do? Like,
I was thinking Robin could, her hands could just sprout on Sugar and choke Sugar, suffocate Sugar enough to knock her unconscious.
you fucking psycho.
No, but
Sure.
Takt.
No, I'm talking about.
If she touches Robin's
It's the
hands,
shortest solution.
if she touches Robin's
It could be a
hands,
clone.
she's going to turn into a toy.
Would Robin turn into a toy?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
She's using her own power.
Because those hands are her clones. They're not Robin herself.
No, if Robin gets hurt, on hand, she gets hurt on her own hand. We've seen that happening.
Yeah.
Isn't it
that's
just
true.
Sugar's hand that turns someone into a toy? Well, like, what if she binds her wrists or something?
I don't
Like
know
her arms.
about that. I don't think so. That's that.
But then
I mean,
Robin will have to touch her hands to bind them. So then even
Wrists.
that would cause. Okay.
Yeah,
her
okay,
wrists maybe.
let's say she's being suffocated. All she has to do is lift her hand and touch somewhere. The thing is, I know this is non-canon, but Ayn turned Robin back into, made her younger by simply touching the Hana no Mi hand on her.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
not
Okay.
her physical.
I never noticed these sort of things in Robin's fights, so.
It's because Robin doesn't really fight people who.
Yeah, exactly.
She's just AoE fodder, equalizer.
Well, finding a use for her is weird. Maybe, like, she sends a clone to distract Treble or something like that while it's going on, because as you said, he's, like, looking right, guarding Sugar very closely. So maybe a distraction from a clone, just so she's not harmed, would be a possible way. I'm not sure. It's just really hard to think of, because Usopp and Robin are a weird combo together, considering they're going against a toy maker and, like, the sticky fruit. It's really weird situations. Like, you can't really theorize it.
I think
Like
Usopp is perfect for fight against Sugar, because he's long range and Sugar needs to touch people to affect them. So.
And she's not intimidating, which is always a good thing for Usopp.
Yeah, which is always a good thing for Usopp.
As far as Robin and Treble, boy, that's a stretch. Boy, that's a stretch. Is Robin executive level? I don't think so, to be honest.
I don't mean she's gonna win, I just mean she's distracting, like, while it goes on or
Still,
something. That's a use.
How is Treble gonna get taken out? Is he gonna get taken out? I don't know.
I'm not saying he is, I'm just saying maybe that's their plan, is to use Robin as distraction for now, but other than that, I have no idea what she's gonna do.
Yeah, because Robin couldn't fight even Monet back at Punk Hazard. Like, she didn't take her on, even though it was it was Zoro.
Exactly.
So I don't think Robin or Usopp together as well can fight against Treble, because I think there's going to be something else going on which is going to contribute to Treble getting defeated.
Jinbei.
Chosen this one die.
So we have Jinbei showing up. You have him showing up in 2-3 places. Clones.
No, this is what he's gonna do. He's gonna use Shadow Clone Jutsu.
Why are we bringing Naruto into this?
Stop listening already.
Yeah.
We just lost 17 viewers. So yeah. All jokes aside, this seasoning is fucking hot. And some people in the One Piece discussion topic were talking about how dwarves, get affected more than humans. Firstly, they're not stupid enough to overlook that. I just want to say that. They're not stupid enough, like, oh, we don't take, this is the hottest, seasoning, nevertheless. It doesn't get hotter than this. And it knocks people out, apparently. Firstly. Secondly, they take more, they're more durable than your average human. More powerful, more durable, and faster than your average human. So also that in consideration. But what if Sugar, what if because her internal organs didn't grow it has something to do with whatever she eats to a point where it doesn't affect her as much?
Why not the reverse? Why not the fact that her organs didn't grow and therefore she's not used to spice?
Yeah.
That would be over. She would die.
The spice would affect her more than just like how
Yeah, the spice would affect her more.
kids can't handle the spice.
I mean, that would be an overkill. I mean, even dwarfs were gonna die.
Yeah, but the thing is, the dwarves are much smaller in size. I mean, much smaller in size. So what can affect them 100% may affect sugar only 80, 75%. I mean, the body weight, mass and stuff.
Because like they defy all logic. They're so tiny, yet when they're angry, they fucking quake. Like just, we've seen what happened with them. You know, the scout and the Tintata fighting. You know, it's just, it's a lot of possibilities. And at the same time, we have come to an agreement that this plan is not going to work.
No, it's not going to work.
Robin and Usopp will have to take over and do their thing, really. Which even still is a stretch because of Stray Ball. We don't know.
No.
Just one last thing. There's the Tatabasco thing after her grapes. It's not actually a grape that they stole that's inserted with it. It's just something that looks like one of what she eats, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm trying to think of ways that this is going to fail, and it'd be the most hilarious thing if she's actually eating those already. Like, she already eats that shit, because I just can't think what's going to happen.
No, they manipulate they made it look as if it looked like, you know, one of the grapes that Sugar eats.
Yeah, they're very grape-like from the anime, because she actually has been shown, so probably just a stretch, but I don't know. It's thinking of how it's going to go wrong is interesting. We'll have to wait and see. We have a break, so.
Thinking of how it's going to go wrong is definitely, you know, that's actually a fact. But yeah, this concludes our key points for this week. Okay, since we pretty much talked about everything there is to talk about as far as this chapter and even more, I don't think there is any need for a free talk discussion. And just to manage time and make it easier for you guys, we'll move on to the final thoughts of this chapter and include our individual rating, starting with Recoilation.
Thank you, Sammy. Alright, so my final thoughts of the chapter. I'll start off with the Pika reveal and his devil fruit. I really liked his devil fruit in the end. It's a lot more versatile and unique than theorized. I of course would have loved a mythical zone, but that is still a stretch considering his power level in the One Piece world. So I'm happy with how it turned out. Being a rock assimilation man, maybe akin to Magellan or something, just like, or not really Magellan, but he can, so it's not, he can not produce, but he can control a lot of it. And I know it's interesting, and it is sort of special ops, I guess, just castle protection. But anyway, he takes on Luffy and Zoro, tries to squish them. Obviously, they are not going to perish at this point in One Piece, so they will survive, and hopefully Zoro will become his opponent. And I'm still wondering what Viola's going to do once she maybe leads Luffy to Doflamingo. Like, if she's going to get kidnapped or she fights someone herself, like Gladius or something, I'm not sure. But I just want to see what happens to Viola, because she would be the most one if attacked by Pika's wall there. Cause, yeah. Anyway, so I'll give that point. I'll give it a good, to be honest. It was just a short point, just a reveal, and we talked about it and we saw it at the end of last chapter. So yeah. On to the second point, the battle and the final stage of the tournament and its continuation. Now, this was fantastic. Like, this is, just for a disclaimer myself, this is my first time reading an arc as it's ongoing from start to finish, because I started reading the end of Punk Hazard, so I haven't really seen, like, much fighting yet, because there's a lot of epic build-up, and there's only been shitty Coliseum fights and, like, Luffy against Chinjiao. But this fight, I felt the epicness that I felt in, in the chapter where, like, Law gets shot and Zoro clashes with Fujitora. Just like this epicness of a clash, and it's not just a single clash, this is a fight. This is going to continue on. And we've seen Sabo but use Dragon Claw. And that was cool. That was really unique, and that pretty much solidified to me that he's not going to get the Mera no Mi with such unique techniques, or rather eat it. He might get it, but he won't eat it. That's my opinion. And I just thought that panel in particular with him and Burgess clashing with his surge elbow was fantastic. And Burgess, of course, showed his destructive power too. Just like one-shotting the fighting fish, destroying some of the Colosseum bleacher section. And as well as that, Diamante tried to show something and just got shit on by Sabo. I don't know if it was a Haki attack or not, but if it wasn't, then you got definitely owned right there. And he's so confused, and you can tell he's about to find out officially that it's not Luffy. Probably within the next chapter if they continue on with that. And the final point from this part was that Rebecca is a bitch, but at least she's a woman, so it's understandable. But she showing enough strength or speed rather to win a Colosseum, a block fight. She pretty much was just eclipsed by Sabo in every way, and now is hiding behind a barrier. So she's gone down a lot more in my books. She's always been average, but hopefully she has something to show. I'll keep thinking that it's going to be something along the lines of maybe even turning on Bartolomeo, like just, not this chapter she wasn't, but she was just hiding, but maybe in the future she turns on him for whatever reason. But to be honest, Barto's on Sabo's side, and I don't know. That's a really awesome plot. Besides Sabo and Burgess, the other three characters, what they're going to do from here on is going to be very interesting. So I honestly want to give that part a, godlike. That was awesome. The Sabo just going all out, well, not all out, but he was just going in, taking on Burgess and Diamante. It was fantastic. I just felt, when I was reading it, I was just feeling so much, energy. It was just a beautiful chapter. So I'll give that a godlike. Sugar and Treble, showcases of power. We see Sugar finally use her toy. It's simply a touch. And before he even finished his sentence, he was turned into a toy, him being Cavendish. And as well as that, Cavendish was actually turned into a toy. A few podcasts back where he theorized that he probably wouldn't, or because he's asleep, he'll just wake up and won't be put down because he's not injured. But as he said himself, it's weird how I'm here because I wasn't injured. So why was I in the infirmary? So that was that. We also get to see, besides Sugar's fruit, we get to see Treble's fruit, the Beta no Mi. He is a sticky man, and he is an unusual man. He is, as well as how Peak is unique, he's unique. He's sort of like Magellan in that he's not a Logia, but he can change his shape and conjure. Like, when he was first introduced, he was dripping from ceilings, and then in this chapter he's got like a bunch of humps, and he changes to standing form to like camel form. He's just got a lot of things going on that are unusual. And he's not a substance. He's an adjective. Sticky is not, there's not, I'm gonna, put sticky on my food or something. You know, you say something is sticky. It's not actually an element or a substance. So I don't know. He's really unique. These officers have some pretty cool fruits, but they're not like over the top. So I like it. We also get to see that Hack is a confirmed, revolutionary who Koala has forgotten about, and also some bit of talk from Elizabeth and Sire. We'd mentioned before, we'd rather see Chin Jiao. Hopefully he is a toy and mentioned next chapter, or even he isn't a toy, and something else is going on there. So I'll give that part a good. And the next point, final point, the plan to knock out Sugar is put into action. Usopp honestly annoyed the shit out of me again in this chapter, but I can understand, like, you get used to it. It's not really annoying, it's whatever at this point. Robin, I love Robin, so she's doing her thing, but she isn't really saying anything, she's there. And we find out about the Tata Babasco and how they are going to use that to knock out Sugar. And it has taken out 18 other dwarves who nearly put him on near death, so considering Sugar's size, she might even be considered to take just such potency and fall to that near-death state too. So interesting to see. I'm mainly interested also to see how it's going to fail, because this is not going to work at all. And there's a lot of possibilities we threw out already, and everyone else listening to this probably has their own thoughts. So I'm just curious. This is such a weird fight to me. We'll know Usopp against like a weak girl would be a good fight, but it's still interesting, especially factoring Robert into things. So I'll give that part a good. So it's good, godlike, and good. I'll give it a great just because the best part of it was really good. Just seeing Sabo, and Burgess go at it in an epic way, and there's going to be more to come. That's probably not even the pinnacle of it at all. So, really great, borderline, but those are my final thoughts. And next to give their final thoughts is Divvens.
Thank you, Recoil. And say hi to the dog. If Whiskey was here, he would bark back as well. Don't get angry on them. They're the special guests. It's like Riven's cat was the special guest. Don't worry about it. We all love animals. They're welcome to the OJ podcast anytime, anywhere. So moving on to my final thoughts. What can I say? Like, really, this chapter was all about the action at the Colosseum and then the change of pace to look at what's happening in the underground world. I mean, and especially the starting was, like epic. The middle was epic and the ending was also epic in my opinion. Pika's devil fruit is revealed. Ishi no Mi, which is quite familiar with the admiral we have on the island Isho, Fujitora, and the fact that Pika can just be a whole giant castle. I mean, we spoke about that before. In the end, he may just stand up like a freaking Godzilla, the size of Mount Everest or something. You never know what he's capable of. And that's just scary. You just think about all these devil fruits and how OP they are. And I mean, if Doflamingo's crew is in possession of such devil fruits, I only imagine how powerful the devil fruits of like the other Yonko's top commanders would be. I mean, your mind just blows thinking about the possibilities. So Pika continues to stop Luffy, Zoro, and Viola from proceeding to Doflamingo. He just like squashes them between two walls, and this part gets an epic from me. The final battle begins and, rather continues. It already began last week and now it continues, and Jesus Bugs, he was shaking the whole Colosseum, Rebecca failing and then hiding behind Bartolomeo, Sabo breaking the sword with little to no effort, and then the clash between Burgess and Sabo. I mean, I don't have words for this part because it just left every fan speechless. It was just epic. This gets godlike. I mean, it made the chapter for all the fans, and especially all those Sabo fans who were crazy that they weren't seeing Sabo for so much time, and they kept complaining when Sabo wasn't showing up. They would be very happy now, and again, next week they would be sad if Sabo is not shown, but you can't please everyone. So this part gets a godlike. Sugar and Trebol showcase their power, and we see how OP it continues to be the Doflamingo family. I mean, Sugar's devil fruit is just touch and go. It's instant. And if that isn't overpowered, then I don't know what you would consider as overpowered. I mean, we all think that Law's power is hacks, and it is hacks, but this is hacks to a total different level. And as Takt brought up, we don't even know if she has to touch with the hands or she can touch with any part of her body and turn people into toys. For all we know, she can just kick someone and take you, bam, you go, you're a toy, and bam, you go, you are a toy. So you never know. Like, the possibilities are totally endless. I'm sure we are going to see everything happening in the underground. The important parts aren't going to be skipped, and I'm looking forward to this. And this part gets an amazing, because even though I totally hate Treble's look up and get up and the whole disgusting thing around him, I love how Sugar interacts with Treble and Sugar's expressions. I mean, you just have to see the face. It is always straight face, and even when she's talking, it's like almost no expression. It's just a straight face, and she's like just speaking because she has to speak. She's going to be a great character. I just know that during the battle with Usopp, there's going to be a lot of comedic moments, and I am awaiting that. And the plan is explained in full detail by the dwarfs, which I feel very sad for the dwarfs because it isn't going to go as they plan. And Usopp is finally going to have to prove his Usolandic, the words that he's been, I totally forgot the word. He was encouraging the dwarfs up until now. I mean, even now he says, you go and do it, I'll watch your back, and the dwarf is like, yes, Usoland, you watch my back, that is so reassuring. But if the dwarf gets caught by Treble, what's going to happen? Usopp equipped and Usopp isn't strong enough to save him, and Usopp is going to have to prove himself. And I think the dwarves are going to lose trust in him for quite some time, and then they're going to regain the trust when he wins and stuff. So that's there as well, and the whole thing with Usopp is going to be interesting, and this part gets a grade from me. And overall this chapter gets, I would give it a godlike if it wasn't like, I think the last part it was really, good in its own, but it wasn't as powerful, the impact wasn't as powerful enough as the mid chapter. So overall this chapter gets an amazing from me, and next up is Sammy to give his final thoughts and opinion.
Thank you, Divvens. Well, for this chapter, you guys have heard how much I fanboyed over it, but let's start off with the first key point first of all. The first key point, Pika doing his thing, his reveal, his devil fruit reveal, and everything. I would actually give it a high rating if it wasn't really short, but it was really like just 3 panels of him. The panels, however, looked beast. They looked amazing. Everything with Pika right now is good to look at. I really like Pika. I like his fruit. I like his silence, even though some people don't. I just really like Pika as a whole, but I'm not going to be biased with it, even though if this is the unbiased rating and whatnot. It sets things up. Despite me saying that his fruit is going to be Paramecia, I still wanted it to be something else, and it's Paramecia, so that kind of did disappoint me, but at the same time, it's an amazing fruit. It's all about Zoro, if he does fight Pika, he's fighting against the palace. He's fighting against, the unity of everything, really. And it's like if you play raids, in MMOs, and just boss fights and whatnot, this guy is just like a fucking raid boss. Just a 25-man hardcore difficulty raid boss. So that epic vibe that I get from Pika is, I don't get it from a lot of people in any manga, period. But at the same, you know what? Fuck it. This part gets a great, shit. Okay, so you guys know that I want to give it great, but I'm gonna give it good instead because of how short it is. It didn't really progress anything. It just revealed the fruit name and one attack. That had no progress whatsoever, except, the devil fruit reveal, which we kind of wanted to get clarification on. But at the same time, it really wasn't really, I contradicted myself like 3 times in a row right now, but at the same time, that's how painful it is to rate these kind of things. So I'm just gonna stick with great and move on to the next point, which is the battle in the final stage of the tournament. Jesus, literally Jesus Burgess. Fun fact, I no longer say Jesus Christ, I just say Jesus Burgess because it sounds cooler. I love this guy. I love Jesus Burgess. I love his attacks, his attitude, but I love Sabo even more. And Sabo looked like a boss. His appearance, his attitude, his acting, his fighting ability, everything really. And seeing everything in this part reinforces what Recoilation said. This is as good as it gets when it comes to reading manga and reading One Piece. This panel of epic proportion with this one Saki cut going on in the air, and just the epicness of how, I'm just going to mention something out of all the hosts that said, something that all the hosts said, how he said, just Sabo looking at a cocked back Jesus Burgess about to attack while holding the pole and the cape just floating around in the air while just looking at him. These small things, and Divvens is just talking about how what we're seeing right now is the beginning of just what we expect, what we want, and we're getting it. And once you get what you want, it's really satisfying. As far as the other parts in this part, when it comes to Rebecca, I respect Oda, to be honest, for doing the obvious, which is showcasing that Rebecca, despite her winning in her own effort, it's still some sort of a fluke, because she was struggling with the Admiral, that one guy that fought in the Battle of Diaz. She was struggling with a lot of people, and her winning was still a stretch. But, that happening made her avoid her speed made her avoid that one attack, but Rebecca power-wise is not really there. She's nowhere, to be honest, and when it comes to strength and power-wise. And Oda deciding to showcase how she wants to be protected. The prideful, highly willed Rebecca wants to be protected. And smart, but at the same time, it tells you a thing or two. Bartolomeo commenting on Rebecca was hilarious. I really laughed at it. And him commenting he's the commentator of the fight right now. He commentated on how, Sabo was really impressive and how Senpai was extremely, he's doing what he expected, Senpai to do. And just everything about Bartolomeo, whenever he opens his mouth is hilarious and, is always good to have, really good to have. But, Burgess and Sabo clashing. And Sabo deciding to just blitz everything and go ahead and take the head and not dodge it. And at the same time, the whole place shaking, audience getting attacked. These kind of aftermath actions that Oda loves to put, is really just great. It kind of reinstates how crazy these fuckers are, to be honest. And Diamante, despite being just shut down completely, I like the fact that he noticed how this is not Sabo, this is someone else, even though he doesn't know that Luffy is right now heading to the palace publicly and officially, really. But yeah, to give this a rating, I want to say godlike. I really want to say godlike. Why wouldn't I say godlike? My question is, why wouldn't I say godlike? What is okay, the only reason why I would say not godlike is because I expected this kind of thing. I expect more, because this is Sabo and Burgess. So I'm gonna give it an amazing, just because I knew personally that this kind of thing would happen. So there was no plot twist or anything. So yeah, amazing for me. I really like this part. Fuck, I read this part 30 times. I'm not even kidding. Every time if I get bored and I have nothing to do, let me just look at this panel again. And then instead of looking at the panel, I read the whole part with Sabo just blitzing everything and trying to take the chest and whatnot. So yeah, this is the fact that it's a scene that I want to read over and over and over again. Easily gives it the amazing part. Easily makes it earn the amazing part. And some people would argue that it gets godlike, like Recoilation, which I agree on. But it's just that, I haven't. The fact that I expected it kind of downgrades it a little bit. But yeah, still, I mean, it's as good as it gets. Sugar and Trey Bowl showcasing their power. Sugar, God, this woman, this girl, this whatever you want to call her, this monster of a human being, to the point where she's you. And do you realize that if she's fast, if she has color of observation, if she has these kind of things, she could turn anyone in the One Piece world into, can you even out hockey that ability? Your ability doesn't work on my arm because I'm using hockey on it. I don't even, her power is so vague and so hacked to the point where the fact that she's a kid is a good nerf from Oda. Because her power is so hacked, it had to have a drawback. Because if it didn't, it would be just unfair to other Devil Fruits. Just unfair. And Trable being as disgusting as always is, I don't want to say amusing because I don't know. I mean, I don't like reading things that are disgusting, but it's his thing. It's his quirk to just jump in your face with boogers all over and going, nah, nah. And that's the Trable that we love. And, his fruit is okay. It's good. I guess, I got to, my mindset when it comes to devil fruits is that there's no such thing as a bad devil fruit because Oda makes them good all the time. There's no such thing as a disappointing fruit. Maybe, if you expected more, then you could be disappointed. But at the same time, it was highly suspected to be stick fruit, and it's a classic sticky man fruit. It's as classic as it gets. Nothing too difficult to understand about it. It would kind of be limited to just like, what can he do other than stick things to his body, stick people into objects, and why am I even arguing about that? Because Oda will find a way to make it really, really cool. So yeah, not too much to comment on his fruit because it was expected. It's a devil fruit, and devil fruits are always limitless when it comes to what they're capable of. Hack being confirmed a revolutionary is a huge thing for me, because even though it wasn't confirmed, I just wanted it to be confirmed just so I can have a peace of mind when it comes to this being this is not just Sabo deciding to come here for the Meta no Mi, and Hack was undercover, trying to find things, trying to report things about the underground world, trying to report things about Dressrosa. I just love this arc when it comes to how many subplots, good subplots, because sometimes subplots are not good in my opinion. Like, for example, the kids in Bunkhouse, I did not like that subplot. But this, it has nothing that is bad, like, whatsoever. Nothing that you can argue that is bad. The revolutionaries, even the dwarves, some people don't like cute little things. They're fucking devastating and they're awesome. So yeah, this part gets a good. Gets a good or gets a great. I don't know. I'm just gonna go with good and move on. I'm not gonna think about it. Yeah, okay, so fourth key point. First of all, the third and fourth key point combined together is a lot of fucking progress, which is good. It's always good to progress and not slow things in anime and manga. So, firstly, plan completely explained as to what they want to do. Is it going to happen? Nope. It's not even, I'm not even going to say I don't know, because it's not going to happen. Maybe not the way the dwarves wanted it to happen. Maybe Usopp going all sniper on Sugar, which was said from all hosts, and even in the One Piece discussion topic, it was everywhere. It's actually expected. But I'm pretty sure Oda's going to do something different because he's Oda and he doesn't like doing things that are expected. But at the same time, it's just the progress, the confirmation of Hack being a Revo, the showcasing of the devil fruits, and Rob and Usopp finally looking at the two officers, the executive officer Treyball and the officer Sugar. And really, this part gets a good for me. But combined with 3 and 4 combined gets a great. Both of them separated from each other gets a good. That's the best way for me to explain what I think about these two parts. Because alone it doesn't get a great, but together they get a great, because a lot of progression, mainly progression, which is good, more than good. And really, it just really kind of answers a lot of questions, unnecessary questions. Like, you don't want to have these kind of questions just running through your mind all the time. You just want them to be confirmed. So yeah, okay, so this is the fruit. This is what was supposed to happen. These people are here, and then so on and so forth. The first part gets a good to great. I don't even know what the fuck that means. Just leave me alone right now. I'm so struggling with it when it comes to rating this chapter. The second part gets an amazing, as I said. The third part gets a good. Fourth part gets a good. Third and fourth combined gets a great. This makes no sense, but I'm just, roll with the flow. Overall though, these 4 key points put together, overall, turn this chapter into, is it a great or is it an amazing? Is it a great or is it an amazing? You know what? I'm gonna say an amazing on my individual rating, and I may or may not change my mind on the unbiased rating, depending on the 1 minute I have to think about it without talking. So yeah, Takto can now give us his final thoughts on this chapter, and Takto will go.
Thank you, Sammy. My final thoughts, to just summarize it briefly as I always do. Pika's Devil Fruit reveal was amazing. The fact that he can control the entire castle was just palace, sorry. The fact that he can control the entire palace is a nice reveal. And how he slammed the walls together on Luffy and gang was also amazing. And speaking of amazing, that key point gets an amazing from me. Because I just like the scale of what Pika can do and how we were shown that scale and how he, just demonstrated it. And like Sammy said, the panels of Pika have been beautiful so far. The way Oda has drawn Pika has been great. So yeah, that key point gets an amazing. The second key point, the battle in the final stages of the Colosseum. Jesus Burgess versus Sabo was the highlight, obviously. I mean, there's no shadow of a doubt. And then on top of that, you had little sideshows like Sabo standing on top of the fighting fish, waiting for Jesus Burgess to charge up. He's like, okay, charge up. You can do nothing to me. I'll just stand on this fish until I charge at you with my dragon claw. And then you had Rebecca hiding behind Bartolomeo and all that good stuff. Diamante's sword being cut by Sabo's pipe. Oh my god. And then Burgess's shocked face, Diamante's shocked face. I'm all over the place with this because it is just, it's amazing. Key point 2 is amazing as well for me. It's not godlike because I would like to think that I expect a higher level with fights for them to be godlike. So this isn't it. I'm not going to give it a godlike, but key point 2 gets amazing. The third key point, Sugar and Treble. You get a showcase of Sugar's power. Cavendish is the scapegoat who, Sugar basically tests her power. I mean, Sugar basically shows off on Cavendish for us to see. And we get Treble's sticky fruit. Yeah, it was good. This key point was good. I mean, there's not much else to say. It was a reveal of Treble's powers, Sugar's powers, how instantaneous they are, and the contract thing. Yeah, it was good. Key point 4, the full plan. Okay, for this, I'm sorry, but I've had enough of Usopp. I've had absolutely enough of him. I mean, I know I'm supposed to look at the panel with Usopp, where he says he's going to run away once the plan fails, and I'm supposed to laugh at it, saying, oh, this is classic Usopp, but no, I'm sorry. Usopp, just get your act together and do whatever you want to do. Because honestly, because of him, I don't like that part of the chapter because he's there. And the dwarves are lovable though, and they make up for his bullshit. So overall, that key point gets okay, fine. Just for the dwarves, it gets a good from me. I was gonna give it less than good, but the dwarves just elevate the things because they're just so cute with their little plan, and even though everybody knows their little plan won't work, they're just holding up that spice in the air saying, we will make this work. So cute dwarves. Yeah, you make Usopp look idiotic. Anyway, so yeah, overall that's an amazing, good and good. Overall, I just give this an amazing because of Sabo and the cute little dwarves. So yeah, that's my final thoughts.
Voila, there you have it, guys. We got an amazing, almost godlike from Div. We got a great from Recoilation.
Almost awesome. Sorry, can you do it again? Mine's almost awesome. I made a mistake.
Okay. Just changing your mind.
I know what mistake I made. I'll clarify.
Alright, so, we got an amazing almost godlike from Div. We got a great almost amazing from Recoilation, but I'm just gonna call it, whenever Recoilation speaks, I'm gonna say awesome instead of, amazing, cause that's his thing now.
Okay.
From Takt, we got a, rightfully so, amazing, without hesitation, which was the only person who had hesitation, who didn't have hesitation when it comes to their rating. For me, you got an amazing, almost godlike, but after listening to Takt, Divvens, and Recoilation and remembering what they said, you get an amazing from me when it comes to, rating. So, overall unbiased rating of 737. Truth, Recoilation, go.
Alright, my overall final unbiased thoughts. I just want to clarify my biased thoughts. The fourth key point on Usopp and that, I actually thought of twice when I gave it a good. I gave the sugar treble part a great / awesome borderline, so wrong. So overall, it probably would have been awesome for my thoughts. But overall, unbiased, I would give it a great. But it's also still borderline because the pacing was so good, to be honest. Next is Divvens with his final unbiased thoughts.
For my final unbiased rating of this chapter, I'll give it an amazing. Because personally, I think this is an amazing chapter. I mean, it did have its the issue with the ending not being as impactful as the beginning and the mid, but it's still going to play a lot in the immediate next chapter, hopefully. But yeah, I'll give this an amazing. And next up is Sammy.
Thank you, Divs. As far as this chapter is concerned, I think it's amazing as well. Unbiasedly, even hell. I like the progression. I loved, absolutely fucking adored the confrontation between Sabo and Jesus Burgos. Dragon Claw, elbow surge. Fuck, seriously. No discussion here. Other parts were not as good because that part is just beyond everything. But at the same time, overall it was good. Even though they didn't like the last part, I urge you guys to have an open mind with these kind of parts, because if everything is going to be epic and grand in all chapters, then they won't be grand and epic anymore. So yeah, just keep that in mind when you're reading One Piece, and yeah, amazing chapter. Takt.
I agree. It was an amazing chapter, even if I'm unbiased, when I rate it. I could be a meanie and say that since that Usopp thing annoyed me so much, it would be downgraded to a great, but no, that would be stupid. Yeah, it's still an amazing chapter for me.
And there you have it, guys. 3 amazings, 1 great, because Recoilation is cool like that. So yeah, we're gonna move on to the Q&A segment. The first question from Frosh. Sorry, dude. Your name confuses me sometimes because of fairy tale. Seeing Sabo's fighting style / technique, is it possible that Dragon trained Sabo himself? Very, very, very possible. Influenced, at least. What do you guys think?
Yeah, at the very least, it is an ode to Dragon, like as his mentor. He might not have taught him the technique, but he might have taught him other things. And he's like, and it does resemble a claw what he's doing, so it makes perfect sense if it's in honor of him.
Yeah, I think it's like a mix of a martial arts style, which he has learned. Like the Revos are going to have people from all around the world. They have Fishman Karate, they have humans learning Fishman Karate, and who knows what kind of trainers they have and the other martial arts they go into. And as Cam said, just because the name has Dragon in it, many people presume that maybe Dragon has trained him with that exact, move. But if let's say if Bartholomew has a move which has Monkey in it or Luffy in it, just example, then it wouldn't be that Luffy has taught him that. It'd just be that it's based and rather a thanks or some kind of thing to Luffy. So I think here he's just dedicated that move to Dragon somehow by adding his name there, and the claw must be a part of the martial art thing going on, the whole thing with the martial arts, and so that's my opinion on it, at least.
I totally agree, Divvens. The thing is, I don't think of it too much as a whole martial arts. I think of it as an ability, simply put, an ability, kind of like Snake Shot. It kind of looks like Snake Shot, but instead of that move being paralyzing, this move is just full out penetrating and power, just full on sheer hockey and power. But as far as the possibility behind it, yeah, sure. I mean, we already saw humans having their own knowledge of fishman karate, Koala, who happens to be a revolutionary as well, and Dragon is a mystery when it comes to how he fights. I do think he has a devil fruit, which is either a mythical dragon that can manipulate thunder and weather, or a weather logia. One of these two, in my opinion. But him having some sort of martial arts is also possible. But at the same time, your question is going to be answered more when we see more attacks from Sabo, and if he's going to have that mentality when he goes on the same way, because I really doubt this martial arts that supposedly Dragon taught Sabo would have anything to do with the pole, the pipe. Sorry, I don't think the fact that he still has his pipe means that he still has his own way of fighting, but at the same time he's sort of influenced and just, he wanted to put the word dragon in it because dragons are cool.
Just the fact that Dragon pretty much 99% chance has a devil fruit, makes you think like he didn't mentor him in like a martial art. That's just overdoing it to have such a strong devil fruit to the point where you can manipulate weather, even if it's maybe just do it to that extent, as well as have top tier martial arts. Because looking at Sabo, what he can do as just a mentor, it's frightening what Dragon will be able to do. So I think it's just an ode to him. He probably has trained him, but I don't think that technique is specifically used by Dragon himself.
Totally agree. Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Frosh, and it does give you the possibility. Just remember, if we see more attacks with that, then it's a bigger possibility. But the fact that Sabo still uses still uses a pipe means that he's rocking his own fighting style. So Anthony asks, he would like to hear everyone's thoughts on how many chapters do we personally think we'll have remaining of the Dressrosa arc. So basically, what he's trying to ask is how many chapters are remaining in the Dressrosa arc. Do you guys want to give it a go?
Quite a tricky question, because as of now,
That's Anthony. Yeah.
the plot is at such a point where you can say it may go here and there, but you never know for sure how it's going to go. So I guess at least 45, 50 chapters around that.
Really?
Yeah.
I think more.
I think more. I think close to 100.
Punk hasn't had that many, and that was very minor compared to this. I think this would go up to
Guys,
70 at least.
You need to realize that this arc has been going for 37 chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
I don't
already
think this
like-
will go the same as Punk Hazard.
I think you could go for like 90 chapters more. I really think it could, because there are so many factors in play over here. There are so many side characters. There are so many.
But Oda loves to skip these kind of things and shorten them. Like for
Yeah,
example,
True, maybe.
The
But maybe
main battles.
right now is the time to expand things.
The main
Because you have an
battles.
admiral, you have the revolutionaries, you have Big Mom, you have all sorts of stuff in this arc, and that's why I think it will last close to
100 overall, dude. Not more seriously.
Yeah.
okay.
Like,
Yeah,
I think we're
100
probably
overall. Then
a
80.
good guess is.
Yeah,
Sorry.
80 more. Sorry.
What the?
Sorry. I just wanted to
good
give a
guess
fun
is-
number, 80. So
Okay. I was thinking 70. I think we're at the halfway point or over that now, personally. Like, I think we've got all the fighting left and all the things to unfold, but they've got so much backstory already covered that, like, we're sort of full throttle going forward. Now any backstories left are things about lore, especially. But, I just feel 70, like, Punk Hazard was 46, and that was sort of minor. Like, there was nothing, not even many fights. There was story progression, but it's not like it was more than Dressrosa.
Punk Hazard, to be honest, was, and this is fact, by the way. It was a build-up arc for.
Yeah, it was build up. It was like Little Garden and all that to Alabasta arc, and those were like half the length, or maybe just no, it wasn't as long by far. So I think this will go up to maybe at least another 20 chapters.
I really think Alabasta was extremely long. How long was it?
I don't know in chapters. It was 30 episodes, but those episodes are like 2 chapters, so maybe 60. I'll check.
Yeah, around that. But I don't like. Here in Dressrosa, we are already almost at the halfway mark. So another 45, 50 chapters would kind of make sense, because we know that the main fights are going to get wrapped up in around two chapters max. Like the fight between Lucci and Luffy back at NES Lobby was done in 2 chapters. The anime stretched it out, but the main meat of the battle, the final battle, was just, I think, in 1 chapter rather. It was done with. So we may just.
I mean, hearing you guys speak, I realized how big 80 chapters would be.
Yeah, that would be like 2 years almost.
That would be ridiculous. Yeah.
Just for one arc, yeah, that's a lot.
Okay, so maybe 40 to 50 more, I think.
Yeah, so basically, to give you a more detailed answer, I think the fights, within the confirmed fights at least, because we might have more fights that we don't know of, which we will, Fujitora being there, Revolutionaries being there, but the confirmed fights will probably, conclude within 10 chapters, 10 to 15 chapters. Doflamingo versus, Luffy being 5 to 6 chapters or so. You guys agree with that?
Yeah. It'll be split out.
Yeah.
We'll be seeing it in parts and parts, Just like what's happening with the Colosseum. And until it reaches the pinnacle of the battle, it's going to be,
go on 5 to 6.
Yeah.
Okay, that's for, Doflamingo and Luffy. Pika, and Zoro, maximum 2 chapters with like a few scenes, of build up and
2.5.
Separated chapters, yes. The whole, underground world, scenario, including all the fights in it, is going to be around 3 chapters maximum, in my opinion.
Yeah.
The whole thing, the whole shebang, maybe 2 to 3 scenes here and there. The Revolutionaries will have around 5 chapters alone, of content, including pages and panels and everything, maybe even more, in my opinion. Because I do think they will play a bigger role than what they are doing right now. Sanji, Big Mom, and all, and Zhao will have at least 5 chapters in my opinion, because only is it going to be a struggle, it's also going to be the meetup of, the Heart Pirates, and if the things we predict actually happen, which are, using his Pandai, if that happens, that's going to be a chapter in of itself. It's just every page is going to be water floating around the ship. Totally a fact. But all jokes aside, if the Kid Alliance show up, then that's going to have a lot of focus as well. So overall, 45 chapters. There you go.
45 chapters more.
45 chapters more. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
45 chapters would pace it well as well. With the current breaks schedule and stuff, that is at least a year and some months,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good.
The Youngrang asks, why are Treble's legs chained? I think just two or 3 possibilities. He was a prisoner, in somewhere 10 years ago or so. Longer than that. He was a slave, and Doflamingo, rightfully so, being a Jinribitu, probably freed him, either before becoming a pirate or during being a pirate, or, for appearance, I don't know. But yeah, these 3 possibilities in my opinion. What do you guys think?
I and Takt have a bet.
Yeah.
We have a bet on it that, Treble was an ex-slave, and we know that celestial dragons like to make their slaves eat devil fruits and stuff, and Doflamingo in his past, or due to his influence, had freed him and got him out, or maybe like Treble was one of the tributes or whatever that along with money, I'm sure slaves and stuff used to be passed on to the celestial dragons via ships from each countries and stuff. So maybe on one of those ships he was caught, and I guess the chains just stay on him because he's used to them, or it has some connection to the past and such. Because I think just wearing it as a fashion accessory, that's kind of, I don't know, you don't just wear chains and move around for nothing.
I mean,
yeah. And I thought it was an accessory as well, but with recent discussions that I see on the forum, I'm starting to think Div is right and I might lose this bet. But yeah, I like the idea that he is a prisoner who was saved by Doflamingo when Doflamingo was a celestial dragon, and Doflamingo got access to devil fruits, which celestial dragons do have, and he gave Tribble and this devil fruit. I like that idea.
What about you, Rico?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on the fence with it. Surely Doflamingo would have the pull to get Tribble freed in some way. If he is indeed, or he was a slave, but he's also an extremely weird person, so you can't rule out that it's an accessory and he's an idiot. So I'm sort of just undecided on it, and I don't want to make a bet on it. I'm not confident enough. I'm leaning towards slave, but he's also weird, so keeps it on.
It's just that it's too many hints in my opinion, because, you know, the amount of respect, the subordinates of Doflamingo have for, and loyalty for Doflamingo, and him being a former Tenryubuto, and Tribble being a super executive, an elite, hints towards these cuffs aren't really just for kicks, man. Literally, they're not for kicks, cause that would be just weird. Like, I just decided to go out of my way to put chains in my legs because I feel like it, cause, you know, I'm weird like that. I don't see that being the case.
That's Senior Pink thing, not.
Yeah, that's the Senior
Tribble.
Right? Just, you know,
I just put chains on pretty nonchalantly, so.
And Oda, I think will talk about Doflamingo's past, and he will tell us that he saved, one or two of his current subordinates, who were slaves,
and who grew loyal to him over time, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
so, yeah.
In total, me and Takt had 3 bets. First, I kept a bet with him about, the toy.
Had 3, really?
Yeah. The toy the person who turns people into toys, the devil fruit isn't one person, but it is 2 people. Remember?
Yeah. Right.
We told that one is going to be the toy devil fruit user and one is going to be the memory alteration devil fruit. So that I lost. The second one was that Viola is going to use her devil fruit power to somehow fix the country's problems, even after the people are turned back to humans, and, you know, just show them everything, the truth, and make them, come on their side, support them against Doflamingo. And the third being that Tribble was a slave. So these are the 3 things that we both had differences on, and we had this little bet, which actually isn't a bet because we don't have anything.
Nothing is wagered on it. It's a bet of pride, as Recoil put it. So.
That is so fucking retarded. No, okay, so this is official right now. This bet will have a prize, and the prize is a quote in your signatures, by the person who wins the bet. Simply put, the quote doesn't have to be mentioned now. What do you guys think about it?
Instead of a quote, why not? If I lose, if Tribble turns out not to be a slave, it's just an accessory. Takt can tell me to wear any avatar and signature for 1 week. And if he loses, the same to him.
Better.
Oh my god, if I lose, I know exactly what my signature is going to be.
What is it?
Oh.
Pink fluffy handcuffs.
Yeah.
You put him on Mario this time.
So, yeah.
No, Takt hasn't agreed. He needs to agree.
Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay.
Let's have some fun.
And probably the signature that Takt is going to choose is a fan art of Zoro beating Sanji somehow in a fight.
I know exactly what I'm going to use. I know exactly what I'm going to use.
Is it gonna be? Oh, I have an idea. Okay, so let's just move on to the next question.
What the hell have we done? Anyway, move on.
Sengoku asks a question, a really cool question, because I overlooked that part at the beginning, and Sengoku kind of just the fact that he mentioned it made me think about it. Do you think we know the new Blackbeard pirate commander or captain, if you will, under Blackbeard? Because, you know, just to clarify to you guys who are going, what the fuck are you talking about? What's this question? Basically, Blackbeard has had 9 Nakama with him, Marineford-wise, and also post-Marineford, before time skip, basically. And now it's stated that there are 10 fleet commanders under him, which means there is another powerful or significant Blackbeard pirate that became the 10th pirate captain. So, and Sengoku is asking who. Firstly, before we even go further, I don't think it's Kuzan, because Kuzan is way too powerful to fucking work under Blackbeard. And at the same time, the conversation between Blackbeard and Burgess tells me that whatever going on between the two is still beginning to be discussed. And everyone knows in the Colosseum, everyone said the 10 captains, they know there's a 10th captain, while a few days before that, Aokiji showed up and Doflamingo asked him, what the fuck are you on about? What are you planning on doing? Smoker said the same thing. So if the Dressrosa, spectators and the commentator knows, I would assume Doflamingo and the others would know. So yeah, it's not Kuzan. But who do you think, guys?
Yeah, it's, the fact that Kuzan, the whole, his identity, his rumors there's rumors about him. Nobody knows for sure what he's up to. And as you said, the announcer said that there are 10, giant captains under Blackbeard. So that for sure makes it seem that they do know who is the 10th, who are the 10 captains. It's not a secret that they don't know this captain or they don't know that captain, etc. And as we saw before, the time skip, there were 10. In fact, the whole crew is 11, but not counting the horse, the doctor's horse, there's 10. And now it's, if there is 11, that is also kind of an just a minor confirmation, like indirect confirmation that Luffy is also going to have 11 total crew members, including him. So there's going to be the 10 Nakama plus 1 Luffy, and Marshall D. Teach plus 10 captains. And regarding who is the 10th captain, I'm not sure. I'm so much sure that it's not going to be Aokiji, because Oda likes to play mind games with us. He gives us this little hints, and then later it turns out to not be. So maybe the talk with him and Aokiji is something totally different. And
actually,
it turns out
Aokiji enforces the fact that he's not working with. If you think about it, it tells us that he's not working, because they were unsure even when the Colosseum tournament was going on, while the fucking commentator was sure. So it's out of question in my opinion.
And Jesus Berg said that I don't trust Kuzan. Are you sure? Then Blackbeard was like, yeah, he's just like Shiryu and stuff like that. But I don't think Kuzan is at that position yet to be the 10th commander, because first of all, if Kuzan is the 10th commander, he's as powerful as Teach, or even, they are equals. If Aokiji is under Teach, they are both equal, so that makes no sense at all. No sense at all. But I think Kuzan is trying something. He still has a sense of justice. He still is strong with his sense of justice. He's still a Marine deep inside. Maybe he's trying to infiltrate and kill Blackbeard somehow, but he is not the 10th captain. I'm sure he's not the 10th. It would be very funny if the 10th captain is that horse named Stronger. His name is Stronger. So
it will be. It will be. They are hunting for devil fruits. He's probably eaten the mythical one, and now he's. Oh, they never know.
Hito no Mi.
Fucking Zeus.
Zeus? What?
Yeah, mythical Zeus. That would be fucking awesome.
Okay.
I don't think it will be Stronger, but you can't rule the 1% chance out that he ate like a human fruit like Chopper did. But
What if he was always capable of it? We just didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Really kept it hidden for like 600 chapters.
We would be caught so off guard. Like, he wasn't even any significance in Marineford, like with the panels with Shanks and his crew, and it's like he's a pet. He's like an actual legit the crew, but for Doc Q, I think. My opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Chopper's a pet to everyone else, sort of, so I don't know.
Maybe in the finale it'll be Chopper versus Stronger.
Wow. Okay. But do you guys at least think we know who it is? Is he?
I hope-
Yeah, no, we
I
do
hope
know
so.
who it is. We do know who it is. It's
Yeah,
Buggy.
I don't think it's a new.
It's
I don't
Buggy.
think it's
Buggy is
new.
Buggy is the new captain.
What the hell?
It's not going to be a new character. I don't mind if it is, but I hope it's just a reoccurring. Roto loves to bring people back in interesting
Yeah.
ways. So someone that's evil or showing those intentions, maybe.
It's Rob Lucci. Just kidding.
Gecko Moria.
Oh,
Oh,
Jesus
God.
Christ.
Podcast lost another
Yeah.
7 listeners.
Jesus Burgess. Yeah, I don't know.
Who
I
else
hope
could it be
it's-
as a recurring
Okay,
captain?
so no, let's do this. If it's a recurring character, everyone just say one name or two names if you really want to. Recoilation, go.
Captain Kuro.
Be serious, man.
Hold on. And
If anyone has a name, then you
one
can
of the Skypean priests that's cloud drifting. Alright.
Jesus, dude. Okay, Takt.
Recurring character. I really don't know. I'm drawing a blank.
See?
I'd love it to be Captain Kuro actually. So, just for laughs.
He's so retarded.
I don't know. Okay, Captain Kuro. That's the only one I can think of, honestly. Or, just a random choice, Mr. 3 or Mr. 2. Just.
What the hell?
It's Crocodile.
It's Crocodile. It's Crocodile. Crocodile is Green Bull. He's the new captain.
It could be Gin.
Yeah, it could be Gin.
This is a growth one that you guys love.
Gin?
No, I got it. Dawn Craig.
Okay, that's taking it too
It has
far.
to. It has to be an evil character, antagonist, someone who is going to fight the Straw Hats. So it's going to.
And since you actually have lead ups to it, and you're thinking about it, and not mentioning random fucking antagonist names, do you actually have a name that we can at least agree on?
If it is recurring,
So seriously speaking, I like the idea of one of Skypia's priests being coming down and actually joining Blackbeard's crew. I like that idea.
I just find them.
only.
Yeah, Om is.
Yeah, Om.
I do think he's a little bit too underwhelming. In my opinion, my personal,
he's back
especially
there
since
last time.
If he has grown to a certain extent, then maybe he's good enough for the
He
Black.
could just be the lowest commander, could be the 10th captain in order.
The last time we saw Ohm, he was building hot springs. And then you mean to say that he has...
No, that was Gedatsu. That was when
Oh.
that chopper beat, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I see.
yeah, the thing is, I mean, like, if he meets the Straw Hats, he's not gonna care about anyone other than Zoro because Zoro is the one who beat him, and Zoro's not gonna fight him again.
And Zoro has Shiryu against him.
True. Yeah, Zoro
Look,
has Shiryu.
okay, let's see. As of now, Marshall D. Teach versus Monkey D. Luffy. Alright? Van Augur versus Usopp. Jesus Bugs versus Sanji. Doc Q versus Chopper. Laffy versus Nami. I don't know. Shiryu versus,
Yeah.
Shiryu versus Zoro. Sanjuan Wolf versus,
Frankie?
Frankie. Yeah.
Frankie shot.
Vasco.
Katarina.
Katarina Devon versus Robin. Vasco Shot versus either Vasco or Avalo is against Brook, and whoever is remaining is against Usopp.
Those
So
two characters are the shittest ones too, of the Blackbeard crew. So we
Yeah,
shouldn't have
that's true.
high expectations of who the hidden one is.
yeah,
Yeah.
so
I don't know.
And
whoever is the 10th.
the 10th is gonna be, in my opinion, it's gonna be Jinbei versus Arlong
Jinbei or Arlo?
versus, and no,
Oh,
it's
versus.
It's a joke. Don't take it seriously. It's a
I
joke.
think if it's
No,
any
I didn't hear you
recurring-
properly in the beginning, so.
I didn't hear what you meant.
What did he say,
I
Div?
thought you meant Jinbei was on Blackbeard's side for us.
No, the Blackbeard, look, people don't want Jinbei to join the crew. I want him to join the crew.
Yeah, I want Jinbei to join the crew as
Only
well.
problem that he would have, against him for not joining the crew, plot-wise, is the fact that he's gonna disturb this notion of monster trio that we have. Cause I put him above Zoro and,
Why not destroy it? Why not?
Because they've
Why?
spent 700 chapters building up, and they just let this fisherman join and fuck it all up.
That's true, but
Fishman
Well,
joined.
you never.
No, I see it as a good change though. So
I see it as a refreshing change, in my opinion.
yeah, I see it as exactly refreshing change. Yeah.
And what do you think?
To stay on topic about this, if it is any recurring character, my first guess goes to Stronger itself, the horse. Somehow, I don't know. Maybe, Oda can make it work. And my second guess goes to one of the Whitebeard commanders who defected after Whitebeard died.
That would be the ultimate fucking spit in the face.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point.
Holy crap. Well, it's not going to be Justin Armin. He's not really. It's not going to be Vista. It's not going to be Marco. Could it be Marco? What the fuck?
Nah,
I
it
don't know.
wouldn't be.
Marco
No, it's
would
not
be
going to be Marco.
Marco would be too proud. Or you never know what they may have tried to fight Blackbeard, got defeated, and then come under him somehow, and they're just waiting for. But then the point comes that if it's Marco, then Marco wouldn't fight the Straw Hats when the time arises. So it's somebody who has defected from the Blackbeard pirates for good, who has turned to the dark side, literally to the dark side.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Well, yeah, this is a really annoying question, Sengoku, because we really want to answer it more, but we don't know how, and it just really frustrates me. And I hate you for asking it. And I would like for you, Sengoku, to tell us your opinion on it, because you were curious about it enough that you may have an opinion. So yeah, our opinions are retarded as hell. We think it could be, no, not me. People think it could be Kuro, Don Craig, even though they were trolling, I know. Just random people. Others think it could be the 10th possible foe for the 10th possible Nakama in the Straw Hats. Divs had some sort of logic behind his answers, just a big plot twist where a YB commander is the 10th, or Horse somehow leading a fucking fleet. I don't.
Look, if
Actually,
Jinbei
hang on.
if Jinbei happens to join Straw Hats, then the obvious
Namor, right?
exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thought of the same thing at the same time. Yeah.
Namor will be the fishman against Jinbei, and they both look same. Also, they're both the shark-fished kind of. Even their looks and the frown is almost so similar when you look at it. So
yeah,
if
they both seem to be real shark types. Yeah.
Yeah. So if Jinbei joins the Straw Hat, then I guess Namor is the possible candidate.
Yeah, so I would like for you guys to give us your opinion, and I really do, because I really want to know more about this. And at the same time, Sengoku, you're obliged to answer this question as well. So yeah, Malicy, once again with a good question, consecutively. What is your favorite scene / moment in the Dressrosa arc so far? Question mark, exclamation mark.
Holy shit, do we need to answer that?
Is that really needed to be honest?
No, it's pretty easy for me.
It's
easy for me.
Meteor scene Fujitora. Done.
Boom, there you go. That's Takt's answer. I have no idea how easy it is for him, but he's biased, so I am him for having a biased opinion.
Because that shocked me to high hell. I mean, oh man, yeah. And that whole chapter was great, actually. The way Fujitora entered in.
That was brilliant, yeah.
Yeah. And his meteors just complemented the whole thing. Anyway, go on.
Div? Hello?
I would say, quite a tricky question, but I guess as a whole, where it all kicked off and the epicness began and everything just went even higher from that spot was Law getting shot. And not that I personally want to see him dead, but that had an important...
Of course not.
It had a really, really important part in the whole arc. Like, that was the breaking point. The ice, whatever you call that, it was the cup started overflowing. It was then. And only after that did we see Big Mom appear and then Sabo appear, and all the incidents started after Law got shot. So I guess that has a lot of significance to the arc, and my favorite scene up until now is possibly Law getting shot 3 times right in front of Luffy outside the Coliseum.
No, go on. I want to hear more. Describe it in more detail.
I love this, man. I love this.
No, but I do agree.
Thank you for emphasizing the 3 shots, Divs. It's really important.
That's what, if it was just one shot, you don't know, you can't, you're not sure until you make, what, have you guys watched the movie Zombieland? Always make sure your target is
Double
dead.
tap.
Double tap.
I mean,
yeah,
I think-
this guy triple tapped. He didn't even double tap.
Oh, okay, so recoil. Go, man, go. Just embrace your moment and shock us with how unique it is, because it's not gonna be, because I know.
Thank you. Let me speak. Alright, thank you very much. In particular, my favorite, the panel with Luffy's face fault. And obviously, before and after those pages where you realize who it is that's beating up with him. Like, no other chapter is, legitimately my adrenaline wouldn't have raced that much for a long time. I'm like, and that's odd because I'm just reading something on a computer screen, but it was just an amazing feeling seeing, you get sort of start to understand, alright, is this who I think it is? And then you see the face fault that like only Enel has made, I'm pretty sure, like, and that's significantly enough. Yeah, Perona, like just the face fault means it's like, just added to it, and just that moment with Sabo where you realize, oh shit, it's finally confirmed. No more rumors for years. No more, he's alive against he's dead. Here he is.
No more Don Quixote, Doflamingo, Sabo. No more freaking Gladius, Sabo. No more Kaido, Sabo.
All put to rest. Yeah, that's my favorite. So what's yours, Semi?
What's mine? My favorite Doflamingo moment is gonna be, what Div said, but overall, I lost my shit completely when Sanji attacked Doflamingo. I don't think it's the best moment of 2013. I don't think so. Because, Dressrosa began in the beginning of 2013, and, just, where I'm going with this. But it's my personal favorite because Sanji was fucking flying with fire, kicked Doflamingo midair. And Doflamingo comments on how looks like a strong one has shown up. That, to me, as a Sanji fanboy, I really fanboyed hard on that one. Extremely. And even though I'm saying how good this one is, I'm really debating on whether it's gonna be this one or Big Mom showing up. Because, Divvens would know how crazy I was when Big Mom showed up. Like, the things that I said on Skype, it was a blur of just misspelled words, sentences that make no sense, terms that I don't even know exist. And just, yeah, it's either this or, fuck it, just top three, Doflamingo, Big Mom, Doflamingo shooting Law, Big Mom showing up, and Sanji, appearing and kicking Doflamingo. Which one is the best out of these three? It's like choosing who's my favorite, son, if I had to, or like just mentality. I can't. I'm sorry. I cannot, choose between these three. So yeah, Big Mom.
Just for fun now, to add more to Malice's question. We all took our favorite scenes, alright? Out of our favorite scenes, we'll pick one and try to guess which OST plays during that scene in the anime.
I need to actually listen to a bit of the OST to know which one.
I would actually, personally, I would choose the Sanji one and put the Sanji OST.
For Takt, I think Fujitora's Meteor, Luffy versus Ratchet round 2, I guess.
Exactly. You read my mind, man. You read my mind, yeah.
You just know it's going to be epic.
I like this. Where he has his OST playing, and then like maybe after they switch somewhere and switch back to that, they'll have the very, very strongest playing after, like just the combination of both. Yeah. Probably good for that scene too.
And I know they're going to play the Arabas.
I don't know where the Sabo scene. Jesus. What else? Would they play a sad OST for that? They would. I don't know what one.
In which one?
For what?
Sabo. Like when they start realizing who Sabo is and like they got the face fault panel, they won't have like.
No, they're not gonna play.
I think it's going to be a silent moment. I don't think they're going to add any OST there. It's just going to be push of Barso.
Maybe when he's running,
Yeah.
Maybe when he's running away in the fish costume.
Let me go through all of them just for the heck of it. The OST for Fujitora is going to be Luffy versus Ratchet round 2. The one that goes.
Or round 1. I mean,
round 2's really.
Round 1 is kind of OST that plays with the Straw Hats. Round 2 is the one, like, let me give you an example, Takt. the OST that played when Kuma dodged Zoro's slash and then was right on top of
I
him.
remember.
And another one was when Luffy had just beaten Lucci, and like everyone's at the bridge staring. They have it like because the Marines are circling them.
By the way, Luffy vs. Ratchet round 1 played when Trafalgar Law first shows off Takt.
Oh, that was round 2.
No, that was round 1.
It was round 1, I think.
Oh, okay,
I'm listening to round 1. It is round 1, definitely.
Okay.
I don't forget that scene.
And for Sanji versus Dofi, they could make the Sanji OST work somehow.
Yeah,
they could definitely make it.
The starting has to be Sanji's OST. You know, it's going to start like Tinini. It's when he appears all the way, he's flying from the sky, and he's like, "They are my crewmates down there." And the first kick is going to end with that. You know, the one which we know.
The OST.
Yeah.
Yeah. With Big Mom showing the OST that plays with when that one can Pacifista show when Kuma shows up in Sapudi Archipelago behind Usopp. I think the OST right there will play, in my opinion.
I think that OST is called Difficult, was it?
I'll quickly check it.
It's going to
Difficult
be...
it's also the same one that plays
one.
Yeah, it plays when
Crocodile.
Crocodile, and when Kuma does Ursus Shock.
So I think that one's gonna play, cause it's really, that moment is full of despair, cause there's a fucking Yonko behind you, while Law was just shot, and Luffy being unable to go out. It's just really hardcore.
And what about the possibilities of new OSTs? We heard one new Spanish OST. What if they add more and more and, totally add epic OSTs in epic scenes, Spanish OSTs?
That would be absolutely great, actually.
Well, we can't, we can choose what we know, but as far as new OSTs, I definitely think we're gonna hear a lot of cool new OSTs in Dressrosa. We've already listened to 3, I think.
Agreed, yeah.
So this question turned from favorite moments to favorite OSTs.
It kind of matches, because we are all excited for the anime. Come on, you're going to share your pants.
This can be the free talk that we missed.
Oh my god, I cannot wait for Fujitoro's meteor scene.
Yeah.
And
I just hope they don't overuse the Admiral theme, because they already did that for his first appearance. I just don't want them to reuse that same thing again.
Basically, I love how basically in the anime, the whole mystery behind who he is has already been spoiled in the opening.
Even my sister knows he's an
As far as moments that I want to really see animated, I mean, top 10 from the One Piece Rewind topic, straight up.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I guess that's the best moment.
You gotta add on the Talon part now though, because that was this year instead of last year.
Dragon Claw. Also, Fujitora and Doflamingo clashing for a minute there.
Yeah.
And, the whole scene with the abolishment. And so that question turned into 13 other things. And, with that,
you win the best question of the pod.
The last question is always we discuss the shit out of it and knock the hell out of it. But yeah, Malcolm, I hope that answered more than what you thought was going to be answered. And everyone who listened to the podcast, I hope you enjoyed it. And I just want to
let them also give us their opinions. What scenes do they want to see animated? What OSTs do they expect? I know Anthony was predicting the OST which they'll play when Kusan appears. But this is going to be fun. So let us know, guys, what you think, which OST is going to play at what moment, and what moment are you most waiting for in the animation?
Just go through the 5 questions that were answered and answer them yourselves. And most importantly, Sengoku, I expect you to answer the question, bro, because if you don't, hell will be. Because I really want to I'm so curious right now. Holy shit.
Sammy,
Oda had to
secret.
We have, sorry.
Sorry. Wait, no, just offer him bribe about something related to Nico Robin, and he'll answer it before we even upload, I'm sure.
Okay, disclaimer, anyone who answers that question gets a free drawing of Nico Robin by me. Doesn't matter how good it is, it's just that it's going to be Nico Robin. And, yeah.
You can draw a fish and claim it's Nico Robin.
It's not going to be as good as Cam's drawings, Recoilation.
Do you want me to do the drawings of the year? That might sell the topic more. Sell the answering of the question.
Somewhere. I'm going to have to put arrows to show that this is Nico Robin somewhere.
Although I would draw Robin more dignified though, because I like Robin, so maybe it shouldn't be me.
You don't like Fujitora then?
Oh, that's not dignified, that's badass. Like, he's just oozing off the screen.
We end the podcast with Recoilation admitting that he does not like the one and only Fujitora.
I like the drawing of him.
Anyway, thank you guys for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it. Next week, expect it to be a teaser. Just gonna say it from here. Expect a lot of bloopers. How are you gonna hear the bloopers? We don't know. You will know soon, since it's a One Piece break. Goodbye, guys.
See ya.
Bye, everyone.
Bye bye.